Welcome back, everyone, at long last to Stories to D4. As some of you may know, I'm your Dungeon Master, Matthew, and I'm really excited to bring you another session in the world we know. Before we get started, we only have a very small number of announcements because our players are itching to get right back into the adventure we'll be continuing from last week. For announcements, before I bring it up to the parties, all I want to mention here is that we have something major that is coming up soon. We're actually recording something this weekend called our Creator Showcase. It'll be airing here in the next couple of weeks, and we'll have all the information over on our socials. But if you don't know about the Creator Showcase, it's going to be a special one-shot where we've worked together with around, I want to say, a half dozen other creators in the space to gather homebrew classes, subclasses, magical items, even a monster or two, in order to craft a sort of community-built adventure that you can come in, get to see a smorgasbord of homebrew content, and then enjoy the ridiculousness that is a party filled with magical girls. Before we talk about the session recap, I want to bring things out to the rest of the party, see if anybody has any announcements of their own, and then end it with Connor's Crit Corner. Who is that?
Jake.
Hi, Jake.
Jake, you keep looking ridiculous. You're constantly vulnerable to flying. What is going on?
He's in chat. You can say hi.
Jake is in chat. Hello, Jake.
Jake.
It's wonderful to see you.
Hi, Jake.
If you weren't here last week, you may know that Jake, if you weren't here last week, just letting you know, Jake has been out for a little bit. He's doing just fine. We'll be seeing him here next month. Jake is represented by this fine Bulbasaur. Can we say the name? We can say the name, right?
It's less than 15 seconds.
It's less than 15 seconds, of course.
Don't stretch it out.
Yeah.
Now, can I do the Pokemon rap?
No, not
It's not allowed.
You
And
can do a specific version of the Pokemon rap that we can pre-agree upon.
moving on from that,
You can make up a rap about Pokemon.
Pikachu, 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 Pikachu. That one's acceptable.
we had a crazy week. We both had our incredibly violent session last week as you got attacked by Mr. Bugarda's men, and also a few of us played a home game of Wrath of the Righteous. How are you guys doing? You ready to roll some more dice?
Yep.
Ready to get some revenge?
Revenge from Gwynwyn, our dear sweetie, wants revenge?
Yeah.
Or is that more Amanda?
Yes. Or Amanda, but
Bit of both.
there's a little bit of both.
Little column A, little column B.
We had such a run of good sessions where party felt strong, we felt good,
On top of the world.
we got knocked around a little bit, but we got back up again.
Not again.
And I'm so nervous for today. I'm so excited.
I thought you were going to go a different direction for that joke.
No, it was a footnotes reference.
Oh, okay.
Back up.
We
I thought you were
actually
gonna do like
said
a
got
Batman.
knocked down and got back up again, like 4 different times.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a Batman thing.
No, not this time. I did
Why
want to
did we not-
share, while we're in announcements, we have a Discord. If you are watching us on YouTube or on Twitch, you can find us in the About section on Twitch or in the description of the YouTube video. It's absolutely free to join. But if you are a subscriber on Twitch or a patron on Patreon, you can join a special lounge called the Storyteller's Lounge, where we show some behind the scenes and do a couple extra things throughout the month for people who are subscribers. You do not have to subscribe in order to join, though. We're all in there. The meme channel is always popping, so if you ever want to join us there, you can.
We got some cute images from a favorite of the NPCs.
Yeah. If you
here
ever
today.
if you ever want to see NPCs that exist in the campaign but may not, like for us, we have art of our miniatures. We have miniatures themselves, but for example, this week, can I go ahead and just say it was Jam who was posted in the wider chat, so you can actually see what some of these NPCs look like. So
Yes.
if you are interested in joining, find those details in the About section on Twitch or the description of the YouTube videos.
I want to say I've got 40 Hero Forge builds for this campaign at the moment,
Lovely.
give or take. Not sponsored, but yeah. So with that, I think we can move on to Connor's Crit Corner. Connor, I would once again, I'm begging you to be gentle.
You'll be fine.
I'll be fine. Okay.
You'll be fine. All right, we'll start with the nat ones. So at the top of the list, we have our DM here. It's got
What did I just say?
3 nat ones.
Thought we were cool, man.
3 at once.
3 nat ones. Ralnor had their first nat 1.
Hey.
Nat 1 for
It
Ralnor.
doesn't count if it's not a game thing, does it?
It's my now one.
Apparently everyone counts everything. I don't know.
It's mine.
I don't keep track.
Well, then I get the first 20 of the
You.
night.
Gwynwyn had one nat 1, and then Thorn also had one nat 1. Moving on to nat 20s, Elle had one natural 20, Thorn had one natural 20, and our DM had 4 natural 20.
Oh, that sounds better. That sounds more accurate.
It's cheating. They were rolling for like 5, 10, 15 people. How many?
A lot.
An
Yeah.
unfortunate number of people.
More than Thorn
Yeah.
can count.
Pretty good.
A little too high.
That's it.
Well, I don't want to dilly-dally too much. I really want to get back into things because you guys are kind of in between. You're at a decision point. You're at a fork in the road. And let's talk about how we got here. Last week, our party was coming off of a wild adventure where a criminal known as Mr. Bugarda had taken it upon himself to send his men to burn down Spindle Street, a really poor section of the weeds, the slums of the West End. Our party, not enjoying the smell nor sentiment of charred peasants, decided to take up arms against Mr. Bugarda's men and face off to protect the civilians there. Because of their success, however, their morning brunch was interrupted as Mr. Bugarda had sent a number of forces to take down our heroes. Most notably, an incredibly well-trained assassin from a long-forgotten house. This Shatter Kai, or Shadow Elf, was able to, for some time, hold off the party using these strange chains that were mounted and physically bracketed to his body, as well as weird injected bits of acid in his flesh. With his abilities, it was kind of hard for our party to stand toe-to-toe with him. Adding on to the pressure, Ililier had left for their morning run, and Silas had gone off to meet with Iris and High Lord Berenger, each having their own goals for the day, not expecting the attack. The party was successful in the end of drawing away the assassin from their home, but not before reinforcements had arrived, and a familiar face had once again shown up here on the campaign. Kieran Chadal. Now, Kieran, if you recall, was this knight who had faced off against the party, having lost his paladin powers, and now served as a criminal in the underbelly of Eltz. He showed up flanked by a pair of Banderhobs, these terrifying shadow creatures. But in the end, the party was able to not only slay the Banderhobs, but hog-tie Kieran Chadal and put him in the basement before the guards could arrive. Explaining the situation and clarifying that the Defiant Smiles were on the case, ready to track down this new criminal overlord, the party began their investigation. While some of them shored up the defenses back home, Ismini Callister went to the Twilight District to meet with a couple of people. First meeting with Pluvia Nile, an old friend and absolutely one of the most wonderful characters we've met along our journey. Pluvia was happy to assist in the party in any way she could, knowing that her boyfriend Tommy also had huge problems with Mr. Bugarda, as Mr. Bugarda had recently severed ties with the gang. Not long after, Ismini and her ally Thorn actually went to meet with the Ladrones, getting permission to actually hunt down Mr. Bugarda and several pieces of information that may serve to be helpful in the hunt. One such piece was actually the guess of a location of where Mr. Bugarda may be hiding. Within one of the keeps of the city, normally controlled by the captain of the Western Guard, Mr. Bugarda is lying in wait. The Ladrones before him had pressed him a bit, perhaps due to debts or for some other nefarious means. They had control, some sway in the local guards, and now Mr. Bugarda had taken that control. Leaving there, the party also learned of another attack, not just on their home, but also on one of their favorite hangouts, the Daring Duelist. There, a half-orc witch known as Galka was slain by Mr. Bugarda's men, leaving poor Oates, an albino salamander, without a master to call his own. There, the party also met a few other of the duelists who were there, and Jam, who was terrified, having for the first time drawn her sword against a living being. But she was fine, Lilier took her hand in hers and dragged her back to the warehouse to keep her safe while the party investigated this crime lord. The party also hired the rest of the guild, the Defiant Smiles, and that's where we're going to be starting our session here today, with this small platoon of mercenaries and allies heading into the warehouse, making some minor repairs to the front gate. And it is here, early afternoon, I would say, that we get to begin our session.
I don't know how safe I would say the warehouse is right this second.
They strike twice. Well, there'll be a few more people here to they'll face.
I have a goal for the day that's unnecessary and probably won't pan out into anything. But
I'm all for it.
But I need to swing by the not the Defiant Smiles. I need to swing by the Daring Duelist again.
Okay.
I'd like to go check in on Oates.
Can we keep Oates? Is that...
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm gonna go check in on Oates. You can't put this in front of me and not expect me to go say hi.
It was just so sad. Like, I couldn't pick up the salamander. Like, when it was curled in its...
Yes, so when you saw Oates, Oates was in the Daring Duelist, cuddled up next to the covered remains of his master, a half-orc witch named Galka, otherwise known as the Tide Watcher. Oates, I mean, you haven't really interacted much with Oates, but you certainly could try heading over there, seeing if Oates is still present.
I'm gonna bring my bird and my Ralnor and go say hi to Oates eventually today.
You want to go by yourself?
It doesn't matter if I go by myself, I just want to go say hi to Oates.
I think we also might need some more magical oomph, if you know what I mean. Perhaps
Gosh, what do I have prepared for the
we
day?
call that favor that we call Miss Bean.
Yeah.
A suggestion.
Miss Bean, pull out the flute.
I'm sorry. At this point, Jam kind of pushes some hair behind her ear. Miss Bean?
Her name is so long. Don't make us say all of it. I know it starts with vanilla and it ends with bean, and there's like 5 other names in between there.
Vanilla Bean, Flethorpe,
You want
Fizzle-
some bicycles. You
Fizzle-
can tell me Miss Bean's name.
Fizzlebottom.
Nope.
I don't remember. I just know Flethorpe.
Hypothetically speaking, it would be Vanilla Bean, Fleflort from Rodham Bottom, Triple Time, Acerola, Carlin, Kiss, Folklore, Timbers.
I got
He
Flethorpe.
made up some of those in the middle
I did.
on the fly.
Very likely. The original name was made up.
I got Flethorpe. I got
Fleflorp
one.
is a place.
Right, but she's named after a place.
Yes, so as a quick reminder, in case some of the players don't remember, or those of us at home, Vanilla Bean is a merchant of magical wares who you actually received a small, I believe Thorn has it, because you helped her in the past, helping with one of her children. You ended up meeting getting a favor, this magical wooden flute that would allow you to go and visit with her should you need additional supplies on a future journey.
We've gotten lucky with favors. We have that favor. We have
I mean, it's not
Princess's favor.
It's not a free pass. We still have to pay for what we're getting.
This is, you would
Yeah.
know, is a way to get to her shop, which is typically for important clientele. Miss Bean, you would have had explained to you a little bit. Miss Bean primarily works with a lot of kingdoms will, let's say,
Hotshots.
commission. So a king might commission Miss Bean saying, I'm looking for a powerful weapon to give my new King's Guard. And she would go off and get big ticket items.
Oh, so
So-
Miss Bean works with hot shots, does she?
I can do
Oh.
hot shots.
Do you want to go do your oats thing and then
Oh,
we'll
it's-
go to Miss
it's a
Bean? Do you
quick
have
trip.
anything you want? Or
I might look at some scrolls.
If
Okay.
you're gonna go somewhere,
wait.
why don't we send me and some of the boys with you?
Okay.
Do you want me to come? I now have this fun ring of friendship, animal friendship.
You can come, yeah. He's not, I don't know if he's an animal, but we can try.
Always try.
He's animal shaped.
He's animal shaped.
That is true.
He's friend shaped.
He's friend and he's
He
friendly
is, in
animal.
fact, friend-shaped.
perfect fit
Yeah.
for the outline. Yeah.
Yeah, I can go do that. I need Jam to tell me all about this new sword she has that does cool stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm fine with staying here to protect the warehouse.
Yeah, I know we all want to probably see Miss Bean, though, so I don't want to detract from...
We'll do it when you get back.
Okay, cool. It's going to be a very quick trip.
We can settle our guest in? We have like tea or what? I've never stepped
I'm
foot in
gonna
our kitchen.
Start trying to put a door or fix the thing.
You know,
that-
I can help with that.
We have a big, like, a draft
Yeah,
coming in now. So
I'll help you with that.
okay, cool.
I do have mending. Pretty sure.
Reminder
No.
that mending is not infinite repair.
I have-
It is
Yes, I
Hammer-
specifically small.
Don't have mending.
That's
I
fair.
have hammer and nail,
I have hands.
and I have watching Silas fix stuff while I would drink.
We've repaired that same hole so many times.
Silas has. I have not.
Silas doesn't yet know, regardless of what Jake knows. Silas doesn't know the house got messed up.
I haven't sent
You
us
never
mending.
tell Silas
Someone-
I went down.
I have to know who applied the fresh coat of paint to the front door.
It would have been Silas.
It would have been Silas.
It would have
Oh,
been.
every
It's-
single
what a shame.
finished repair was Silas.
He's always got a can of spackle on him.
Yeah, it's on his belt
Yeah.
at all times. It's like it's a little can of spackle. It's a full paint bucket for him. Like for compared to you
We
yourself.
actually
Yeah.
had a bar
round
once,
door,
and
though.
he
It's
patched up
a-
a hole in the bar.
Yeah, it's a 5-gallon can.
That man needs mending. All right.
The only magical ability he
If-
gets.
Yeah.
Just mending.
If you would prefer to go to, if you would like to go to the Daring Duelist, I almost said the Defiant Duelist.
I keep doing it.
The Defiant Duelist is you.
Yeah.
If you want to head over to the Daring Duelist, it's not that far of a journey. Who of the players would like to go? Elle would. Okay. Elle, you'd like to stay behind?
With
Okay.
Jam.
Jam and I will hang out here.
I would.
That's cool.
I would
I'm cool
actually.
with that.
I would prefer not to return.
Yeah, your
duelist.
handler might show up. You'll disappear.
You. Well, Jam doesn't move. You almost telepathically have. You for a moment you have a phantom pain like someone elbowed you in the rib, but you weren't touched at all.
Thorn is like,
I don't know social cues.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and split the party here.
Split the
I'll go ahead and
party.
assume I'll send Adon with them. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Cool.
Are you going? Are you
no,
staying?
I'm staying. I'm fixing the door.
Oh, you don't want to go to the duelist?
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
It's just us.
I'm
I
trying to
will-
fix
oh,
the
yeah,
door.
we're fixing the door while they're gone.
All right, the two of you are going to work on the door. We'll go ahead. We're going to start with the people heading over
get
to
drunk.
the duelist here first. My corner, my paper got messed up. All right. Proceeding through the city, heading out of the Barrows and over to Pirewood Row. It's not that long of a walk, 10, 15 minutes, depending on how the crowd is. Unless you'd all like to travel a little bit more stealthily, which is an option to you.
I don't think stealthily. I think keeping an eye out to see if we notice.
Yeah,
anyone
I'll keep an eye
following
out.
us.
Give me a perception check. Oh.
Oh.
First rolls of the session.
Is there a spare coaster on the table? If not, it's fine.
Here, have mine.
Thank you. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
11.
8.
Cool. You guys did not beat my stealth check. As the party is proceeding through, the two of you plus Adon, unfortunately, you were once again set upon. A trio of these brigands on rooftops end up popping up over what looks to be a recently abandoned shop. Now you've passed by here before. They're the place that smells the particularly stinky pastries. They're not. It's not a very good bakery, but it's here. And unfortunately, Adon, Win-Win, and Ismini. Now I'm curious. When this assault happens, is your goal here to? Are you planning on retreating or trying to deal with this trio of archers?
I scream.
So you're not retreating? Really, that's my question. Is are you staying here?
I'll run.
It's fine either way.
I'll run.
Letting out a blood-curdling screech as you proceed through the streets. 15, 17
That will hit.
Ismini. That is going to be 6 total points of piercing damage. These firing these crossbow.
6?
6 points. Crossbow bolts coming down at you. But you realize pretty quickly that Pirewood Row, the streets are there's larger alleys between some of the structures, and they're having a hard time following you as they proceed. You were able to relatively quickly lose them as you notice that I've rolled a 4 on the die for these acrobatics checks. So they're not able to keep pace with you as you're running through the streets. Additionally, as you yell, some crowds begin to form. The streets become a little bit more difficult terrain, effectively.
all I
And you're
wanted.
able to pass by. No further harm befalls you before you arrive at the Daring Duelist. Duelist itself seems to have calmed a bit since you arrived here a little over an hour ago. And there are still a few guards here who are taking some statements, but it looks like at this point they're mainly just keeping an eye out for anyone who wants to start anything once more. And heading inside, you do see, I guess you hear first, it's kind of a calm, it's sort of a calm kind of atmosphere inside the room. The people here aren't having the normal rowdy, excited drinking that you normally expect to see here 3 o'clock in the afternoon, as it's been at a lot of these bars here. People in Elves have a drinking problem. Let's be honest. Call it what it is. But as you kind of head in, there is just this ever so slight boom, 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 boom. Just this slight plucking, just a little plucking on some sort of instrument, and you see the high elf from earlier just kind of resting over by the body that has not yet been collected here. It seems that so just kind of setting the scene here, sitting against the shattered dueling table, this large whitewashed plank of wood that used to have combatants on top, still scorched by the lightning magic that was invoked here. You see resting there is a high elf man. He's plucking the strings of a lute, and on the ground before him, though his eyes are closed, there is the body of Gilka. She is covered by a plain white sheet, and it looks to be a fine cloak has been laid on top. A series of interconnected spirals and filigree covering it as well, just giving her a bit more, the best respect that you can here in this instance, as it does not appear anyone has come to claim Gilka at this time. You still see nestled up, probably somewhere near her shoulders or chest, is this small white salamander. This sort of almost lightly damp-looking white lizard. Does not seem, neither the elf nor the salamander seem to react by your entrance, though a few of the patrons who are having, halfway through their bowls of whatever grub they've picked up here before going back to work, kind of small gestures and then continue talking amongst themselves.
I'm gonna open up my pouch.
Do you have Realnor with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna open up my pouch and pull out some of the moss that I had given the party whenever we went to go face the
Poltergeist?
the poltergeists. Yeah. And I'm gonna look around and see if anybody's gonna stop me as I approach. I'm just gonna tuck some of the moss in at the collar.
As you get about, I'd say, 5 feet from the body, you watch as the salamander stands up and it looks at you. Bright red eyes, like pinkish. The whites of their eyes, its eyes like more pinkish. This little albino creature kind of looks up at you. It's hard to read emotion off of a salamander, but it's standing ever so slightly. Its front legs extended, probably height-wise only about this big. Its body's about 1/3 head, however.
I'm gonna summon Squawk to be near the sound. Thank you for the sound. Just like sit near.
Near, not on.
You're not on.
The Oats, the salamander, does not seem to react negatively, though it does seem to be occasionally looking between you. Why don't you go ahead and give me an Arcana check here?
'24.
24. Knowing that Gelka was a witch, with her powers coming from some sort of spirit or patron, it is very likely that the creature that you're interacting with is a vestigial spirit of an orc. Not necessarily the having all of the memories, but just from what you know about how this magic would work, it is remnants of aspects of her ancestry, of her heritage, of her culture, sort of kind of forming this familiar. Similar to how your familiar is a binding of an outside spirit, this is a binding of a spirit from her own line.
Yeah, I'd like to give a very deep bow to the familiar before I approach.
Make a persuasion or performance check here. Is that a natty 1?
It bounced from a 19 to a 1.
Those numbers are close to each other.
So a performance or persuasion check is going to be a 2. Nope, never mind. I am not for this moment. Not in this moment.
Taking your inspiration there.
9, it bounced from a 20.
As it looks at you,
No.
it doesn't seem to become aggressive,
There goes my witch levels.
but the creature itself kind of begins flattening itself once more, almost, oddly enough, almost blending in ever so briefly as it kind of steps over the white fabric before it gets to the cloak. It looks like it's almost blending in, like it's not fully there. But then when it steps on top of the cloak again, it becomes more corporeal, more opaque. Something about the cloak is actually keeping it more visible.
Okay, well, I'm going to try to leave some herbs.
As you're kind of reaching down, the elf speaks. And be careful, that one bites. Elven man, he's dressed pretty nicely, not like a nobleman, but certainly like a traveler who's well equipped. Fine loot, a very nice looking dagger. He's got his this kind of dirty blonde hair kind of pulled back tight into a long ponytail that looks to be tucked into this like traveling coat he wears.
I'm not going to look at the elf, but at the salamander and say I just want her passage to be peaceful.
And you place them.
I try to place them.
Creature watches you very intently as you place them, like let's say close to her hand, like where you would know her palm would be. Just placing this small token, a small spirit ward placed here. The salamander appears to be content, and once again spirals, forming this little circle in the middle of its master's body. The tragic little thing. The cloak will only hold it here for so long, though, I think.
I don't think there's much any of us here could do. Do you think that if we got her to Orktown, that perhaps?
I hope you won't tease me for this. I'm actually not terribly familiar here with most of the places in the West End. Orktown?
Yeah, it's a kind of pejorative name given to an area of town predominantly housing orcs. Do you think perhaps if we brought... we'd have to get permission, obviously, from a lot of people in order to do this, but if we brought her and her familiar
We could
to
go.
Orktown, maybe they could help
I
preserve...
find forgiveness is more useful than permission.
All right, Grace Hopper, let's go.
I don't know if we should be the ones taking her right now. We
He's
did
only-
just get attacked.
He's only
walking
gonna
here.
he's only gonna last a little while longer, and if this is an ancestral memory here,
I actually have time, if you'd like. My manners. I'm Ader.
hello,
Nice to meet you,
Ader.
Ader.
The man kind of stands.
Wait, he's Ader?
Yeah. If you think this would be best, you guys, if you guys would like, he kind of explains. If you guys give him directions, he could try to take this person to Orktown, take Galka's body and the salamander, and maybe lay her to rest. I find I can be a bit persuasive when I'd like to be, and hopefully ease any tensions found by. As he kind of plucks a few times, you see this small disc of force begin to expand out of the air.
My boy.
If I could get your help placing her upon this.
Of course.
I think him taking her would be the best idea.
Yeah. He's Sabardian?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just checked my notes.
Yeah.
Yes. You've met him before in one of our
I thought
one-shots.
so. He's
Watch our Halloween one shot on YouTube.
yeah, watch your Halloween one shot.
Sorry.
Met this character
To pull us out of
previously.
fiction.
That's okay. I'm so happy.
You all, you seem hurt. Can I help you?
I'm fine. My friend here is
I could use a little bit of
rather
healing.
injured.
Bing, bing, ding, ding. I'm not gonna sing songs. I'll just make plucking noises. But he plucks a few notes, and you're going to heal you for that's gonna be 8 hit points.
Whoa. What instrument does he play?
That's a lute. The lute
He's
itself.
not a ukulele guy.
No.
Like the
Oh, tiny, extra small ukulele. No.
Like the master herself.
However, the lute you'll notice is actually looking at it more closely. The actual though the neck itself appears to be made of some sort of fine but not particularly special wood. You notice that the body of the instrument itself looks to be made of some sort of hardened natural shell, like not shell, like a half circle made of more of a naturalistic material. It almost looks like a coconut, though it's a bit wrong in diameter for that. It's some sort of
A fantasy coconut.
A big coconut.
yes, a fantasy coconut, if
All
you
right.
will. But yes, looking over this, it's the pieces here. There's a lot of mismatches. You notice the strings themselves are made of different materials. It looks like it's well loved, and maybe it's been damaged once or twice before.
Slapshod, kind of.
But taking a few minutes, kind of explaining to him what to do with Galka, Ader, giving you that bit of healing. Well, I'll go see if I could find this. You say there's seers?
Yes, there's a lot of magic in Orktown.
Well, then it sounds like the place to bring her. I had heard wonderful things. It's a tragedy what happened to this place.
She was a brave warrior. And that's how she'll be remembered.
Is the young woman who was here, is she doing all right?
Yeah,
She's safe.
She's safe.
She was very shocked.
She went with a bunch of people who were already targeted previously in the attack to go be protected by the people already previously targeted by the attack. So that was the decision made.
Well, all of her enemies will be in one place.
That's fair.
All the easier to handle them.
Probably.
Probably.
Although we did get shot by crossbows on our way here, which is why we're asking for somebody else to take her.
Oh. Should I be someone else?
If you could.
Yeah.
Would you like to be someone else?
If we could.
That'd be helpful.
Is he cast Seeming? Oh my
I'm gonna cast thieving.
He's gonna cast Seeming.
Yeah.
Bards.
Love
Bards.
I love bards.
Is there would you like to describe the general? So here's the thing. He'll change you into things that are similar to one another. I have a personal favorite, if you wouldn't mind.
That's great.
As he begins playing this tune, it's very melodic, and almost you swear for a moment it almost sounds almost like throat singing after a while. The low note, the lute being lower than it possibly could be, and moments later you look upon each other, and you are, save for the height, very similar balded monks. You are in these very boring drab robes. You have this. You have
Yeah.
shaved heads, big bellies.
I love it.
Hey, you gotta enjoy the
Perfect.
beer. It's fantastic.
I finally, for
and
the
he looks
first
the
time,
same, and looks at you. Well, brothers, suppose we should all be off.
For the first time since leaving the Solstice Citadel, I relax my gut. For the first time.
Oh my god, have you been keeping it tight? The whole way?
I release. Just no more sucking it in for the next hour. Not fart. Just no more sucking in the stomach. I'm not wearing corsets anymore.
All right.
You stop holding yourself like you're wearing a corset.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Proceeding on. Are we fine here at the duelist? We'll jump back to the rest of the party.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go see what's going on. So I'm assuming Adon is actually with you, because you actually procured materials to make expansions on the warehouse before this whole thing happened.
Adon went with him.
Adon went with him. My apologies.
He's also a bald monk.
Milton and Yosef. Adon is also. Adon actually has a little more hair now.
I'm making Rickard help as well.
Actually, if I may
Of course.
disagree with me here, Connor. How long did Elle and Thorn actually help before we started finding an excuse to not do physical labor.
I think we slowly.
Imith loves this.
What I was thinking happened was.
You still have to run a 5K tomorrow.
What I'm thinking has happened is we started doing it, and then other people started pitching in, and then we slowly just walked away.
We were like,
Stealth check.
I have to go do this.
Yeah. Oh, I'll get more nails. Just never came back.
We're like in the back room.
There's a
Playing cards.
genuine lift in the
We feel jammin'.
in the feeling that's going on here. Like you've got so many friends here. Milton Brask is very much enjoying watching you guys do some delegating and is really getting these recruits to work up a sweat. They're getting their steps in, doing a bit of cardio here. Jam
Great.
is fully sitting off to the side near one of the wooden walls you have here in the shade, and is sitting there looking a little bit nervous, kind of just tapping her foot absentmindedly.
I go like this to Jam.
Don't listen to his lies.
Yes, Laurentius.
Hey, what's going on?
There was. Now you were there for this, but she's kind of was flustered, so she might not be sure. The duelist was attacked, and I raised my blade to someone. I don't regret it. It was the right thing to do, but it was frightful.
You know what's the best thing to do? To maybe put those thoughts and emotions aside.
I'm not sure what you have in mind.
Play a game.
Shoulders drop.
I'm gonna hand her some cards. Got any 5s?
I'm gonna see if this person. I will say this. I have a 1 and a 20 for today that I haven't given you yet. What does that mean to have 5s? Do you mean?
Is one of at least?
Would it be? Is it, now, do I
Don't
have to
show me.
care about the? She like shows you her hand immediately.
It's the one that's shaped like an S.
She knows
That's
what
how I remember
5
it.
is, Thorn. Oh my
I
god.
know how to read.
He just learned
I was
how to
asking
read.
if the
Just learned
suits
how
had.
to read. He's so new to it.
The Eltzian educational system has failed you.
Um,
Where did you grow up? Who allowed this?
done. Smith?
Asking the tough questions, Jam, to start with. Also, it's if you have a card that has a 5 on it in your hand, you hand it to me. We're trying to find.
But you
pairs.
just gave these cards to me.
Yeah, but I pulled them out of the pile we pre-dealt for you.
You
Go
you
fish.
begin playing some go fish together.
Let's play high card. I feel like that's more her speed.
Okay.
What's bluff?
Only dragon chess for me.
But you kind of playing some cards here eventually, Milton.
blackjack.
Could you actually deal me in on the next hand?
We were thinking of switching to what game do you want to play?
Nine Lords Bluff. You guys played that?
All right.
So bad at that
so
one.
we're playing
Vinny kicks my ass
Double
every
blind,
time.
Yadelgert's a high. Going through here. It's like, now remember, silver dragons are wild here. We're playing no capes. And he just begins
No capes.
wheeling and
We
dealing.
did not play it that way.
Just absolutely, like you watch Milton just take his leather cap, push it back, push his sideburns behind his ears, and get into the game.
I cast Detect Thoughts on Milton.
I'm like trying to teach Jam while trying not to lose.
You know what? You guys get to roll some dice before we get here. Can I get you to go ahead and roll me? This is going to be a tools. This is a playing card check, which is a tool proficiency check. Adding, in your case, because you're using your spellcasting ability, your charisma. Normally, this would be, because this game is mostly luck, this would be a flat roll.
Okay.
Go ahead and make your just roll that d20 for me.
I got 21.
Oh my god. Milton plays decently, but in the end, you notice that he's kind of confused himself a little bit playing a triple bluff where he's saying one thing, meaning another, but actually is trying to play on top of that another layer.
You don't have shit, Milton.
Jam
Okay.
is absolutely baffled, but is quickly picking up the games.
I like to think that Jam actually has the best hand, but she does not know how to
Well,
use
Jam
it.
keeps asking you, well, if I played these two cards together, would that...
I don't know. This meanie always kills me at this game. and
Jan
I
has
can't help
Jan
it.
has like a straight flush but doesn't know it.
Yeah.
What does it mean when I have all 5 colors of dragon? This is a cape. Does that matter?
You should
Oh my
fold.
Don't fold. Don't listen to
She
him.
begins bending the cards in half.
My heart hurts.
It's Nini's deck. I don't care.
You have a better hand than me. Okay?
Are you playing for money, by the way? I should have asked beforehand. Are you playing for
Yeah, bragging
Playing for
rights.
who has to do the
bragging
dishes?
rights?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Who does
Technically, Jam is supposed to do the dishes according to the rules of the game.
Shit.
Yosu comes over. All right.
Jam cannot have rolled worse than me.
I rolled a natural 3.
Oh, I rolled a 4.
Yeah. Okay. But as we're going here, some laughter going on. We're gonna jump back to the both Gwynwyn, Ismini, and Adon. You're walking here through the barrows, heading back. These 3 monks, hands clasped. And can I get either a perception or, this is a little different, a raw wisdom check for different information? These are different things. I just want to know what you're rolling.
Perception.
Perception.
11.
8.
The
I
streets
have a
themselves?
+5.
The last about 5 minutes of your journey, save for a few guards, you don't see anyone in the streets here near the warehouse. It's calm. Late afternoon. A little under busy, I guess, but nothing particular jumps out at you.
Violence just happened. I would assume it'd be calm.
You hear giggling as you approach the gates to your warehouse.
How much you want to bet that Thorn and Elle are not doing any work right now?
I don't even want to bet against you because
Oh.
I agree.
I wanted to help with the door.
They're probably still
One-
working on it.
One of the monks, Adon, begins jogging ahead and goes and immediately just jumps right into the work.
There's a door up, and then there's a door that's kind of like this, and this door that's up isn't pinned in. You push it, and it falls over.
You hear cursing as Kistry has been pinned under one of the doors. But there's a bit of antics here. You know, you've been gone for about half an hour.
We can't stop his spell, so we're just gonna look like this for the next 30 minutes.
You're not wrong.
We're just 2 bald monks.
What?
3. That's 3 mod monks.
Yes,
there.
Adon, one of the monks, Adon, just walks in and begins working without thinking. However, one of the monk is carrying heavy objects on one shoulder and doing nothing with his other arm.
Wait, Adon looks like a monk?
Adon
Yeah,
is
we
also
all
one of the
are-
monks.
Who are you? Why are you here?
We are brothers of the church.
Why do you know my name?
We are brothers of the church. We have come here.
Sorry,
To help your
patients.
Lilia, do I need to draw my sword again?
We have come here because we heard of the violence.
I begin casting a spell.
You really?
This is why we need a door. Not.
We heard of.
Draw it. Don't swing it.
Whoa, whoa.
We
Peace
don't
and
do-
love, brother.
Whoa, it's Hulk Hogan there for a second.
I cast
wait, is his
telekinetic
voice
shot.
Yeah. It doesn't cover your voice. One of them doesn't do anything.
It sounds like when
I
You
would
doing
know.
okay?
What?
I would know that
I
voice
shoved one in.
anywhere.
I don't know who's what.
No, one of them is visibly shorter, but you can't tell his Minnie and Adon apart, except for Adon's voice.
I shoved the most intimidating looking one.
Ah! It just falls to the ground. That wasn't nice.
Who are you people?
We heard of the attack on the
The
warehouse.
monk draws an adamantine hammer. That's Adon's.
Adon's not playing along with us.
Yes, monk
Okay.
version of Ismini.
I rolled a
What?
perception check.
So, actually, I will tell you.
Oh,
To discern an illusion, it's investigation.
I was
Can-
more trying
can
to
we roll?
recognize the hammer.
Can we roll to
Yes.
recognize them?
I was trying to recognize the hammer.
Jam begins giggling.
11. Is that enough?
That does not beat the DC of that of the guardian you're talking about.
Do I recognize the hammer? With
Yeah, that's just Adon's hammer.
18. Oh, okay.
Did you kill a Dawn?
Why do you have a Don's hammer?
Actually,
The monk begins smiling in a really slow manner.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Does he sound like a Don?
He does. It's Adon doing a very bad voice.
Do I recognize it?
Make me. This is just recognize his voice. This is going to be a raw intelligence check for recall.
I feel like I would.
7.
I feel like I would know Ismini's voice.
You did.
No, you do. Ismini's not hiding your voice unless you said otherwise.
No, I was over here going, it's okay. We have come here.
Deception, insight.
No, I'm truly. I have 30 minutes to cause chaos.
My sword starts to be wreathed in fire.
Math
Whoa.
20.
We just got attacked. I don't trust you guys.
17.
Math 20.
You realize that's just meanie messing with you. Adon does not break the character and gets. You make your attack roll.
We start handing you money.
19.
Now that I figured it
19.
out.
Roll damage.
Of course, for Bahamut. All the money you would want in the world.
Oh god.
Pulling out coin after coin. How about a magical
18
horse?
points of damage.
Oh my god! Oh, all right.
Who
I'm
are
sorry.
you?
It's Dawn. I'm sorry.
Thorn,
Gosh.
it's just us.
Why,
We're under
why do you have
magical
more
illusion.
hair than you normally do?
Oh.
Ow.
I think your hands are
You, as they like
somewhere.
gingerly touch. Ah. That wasn't cool. I'm sorry.
I'm now holding 200 gold.
I've been putting gold for Bahamut.
What is going on?
The antics
I
continue
don't
for
like
a little bit of
this.
time.
We've had a jam. We're not normally this silly, but we've had a really stressful day.
This morning
What's
was
silly?
fast.
Who are these people?
Oh my gosh! it's your
Adon begins
friends.
explaining what the
Adon,
hell is going on.
Izzy, and Gwynwood.
Hi, Thorn.
You know your roommates.
Why
We
are they
split
balding
rent.
old men?
Why is
You do
Gwynwyn
magic.
fat?
You do magic.
You're the same
You don't
height, but why are you
recognize
larger?
Give her a hug. Give her a hug.
No, it's a
Give me a
guy.
hug.
I'm
We
sorry.
don't hug men.
I need you to make me an acrobatics check as Adon attempts to grapple you. It's a 9.
18
One of the monsters
or
to grab
19?
you.
19, sorry.
Come here, buddy. Has to wrap his arm around.
Shove again.
Ugh.
No. No.
At this point, I've been one of these occasional checks. We're actually gonna have Kistry speak up. Excuse me, everyone. I can't help but notice there's not a lot of people walking around the streets. It's kind of creepy.
Oh, 50-50 we get attacked tonight in our sleep.
What time of day is it?
It's like
Late afternoon.
late afternoon.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's very strange.
Though you're in a less populated part of the Barrows, you haven't seen someone. No one's walked. As Christy kind of mentioned this, no one's actually walked by the gates for a couple of minutes since before the monks got here.
Is there?
All right, monk guys. You guys are. You
Hey
guys
Dan,
seem
maybe
to
draw
be.
your weapon. No, just in case.
She
Don't.
reaches her hand and out. She does. You watch as a scabbard and the platinum sword appear at her hip, and she draws out this sword. It's just a thin rapier, sending Squawk up,
Yeah.
flying up into the sky. Give me an investigation check with advantage as you spend a few minutes looking around. Chloe, you look like you had a question.
No, I'm just like, oh, you have a new weapon. It's cool. It's much better than that random rapier. It's such. Well, not no, but.
I thought it would be appropriate for the debut.
It suits you.
I guess that won't really be happening now, but it's fine. Investigation check.
16.
16. You don't see very many people in the streets. You can go up to a mile out, I believe it's said.
With Squawk, it's 1,000 feet, I believe.
1,000 feet
It's
is
shorter.
still going to be sufficient.
It's shorter than with the regulars.
Yes.
The non-regulars.
Now, I will mention, you don't see a lot of people in the street, but you do notice of the main roads, it's like 3 main roads into the section that you live in, each of them has a guard checkpoint that has been set up. It appears they're telling people to move along.
Did I closer? These guards look like guards to my bird eyes.
Rolling over that 16 here, they do. They seem like they're just guards. You're kind of picking. You also
100
hear, right?
It's 100 feet. So if I need to cast Find Familiar.
Oh,
no.
you'd need to. So you'd need to leave if you were doing what we were.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow Squawk. That's fine.
Okay, spending
I'm
some
gonna
time. hanging out.
blindly follow Squawk.
You wouldn't have known this, but it's fine now. Hey, you don't get attacked while you're in here. No one's here. Spending some time. You do hear. I'm so sorry, madam. You'll have to come back to pick up your groceries a bit later. Possibly, if you have somewhere to stay for the evening. Unfortunately, captain's ordered this place go on lockdown. You see, he's like talking to this woman. He's like, "But I need to get back home. This is the only. Where am I supposed to store all my baked goods?" Heading on over to the next blockade, you hear a similar story, and as you kind of continue along, you do catch dunk, 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 as a platoon is heading this direction, coming through the checkpoint. A collection of men. You've got to book it back home.
Yeah. I'm ready to go.
More are coming.
Let's just burn every single one of them alive.
Okay. I'm a little low on spell slots, to be honest, but I'll be okay.
I'll crush their bodies with my mind.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it.
Jam, I would recommend hanging back.
What is happening? I don't understand what's...
I thought we would be safe here for at least a night, but apparently that's not the case.
They'll keep coming, but we'll stop them.
What's up?
I don't have... I've not fought many times, but I do have something I can offer. And Jam just kind of, you watch as her hand dimly gives off a faint bit of light. If any of you are hurt, or I have the ability to, she kind of thinks of the way to put it. I may be able to restore some of your arcane abilities. And Jam just kind of, just to explain,
I think that.
Jam has a small pool that she can use to restore spell slots. They're limited, but she is able to do this.
Yeah. I might be.
Chloe got the character sheet just in case.
You impress in new ways every day, Jam.
I'm good on spell slots.
This one?
Yeah, no, you're fine. I was looking for my notepad.
Just 1, 1, 2, 1.
Oh, all those things are over there because I was working over there. Can I have all of the
my
papers?
Missing. I'm only down.
left
Is
I have
spell slots.
3, 1, 3.
first and 1 second left.
I have all my seconds and 2 first level.
I could use a second because I have an AoE.
I
And the Binding Ice might be good.
Yeah, I've used 1 first, 2 second, and a third.
What do you have?
You guys are down way more spell slots than I. I've only used 2 spell slots.
I would
got
take a
I'm
second.
down a
If-
third.
I've used
first.
4.
Do you want
Yeah,
to
I'm
take
down
a
She has
second? I'll take
5 spell levels worth of recovery to offer the party, but that will use up. Now her magical healing and her magical her spell slot recovery all uses the same pool.
Okay, do we need to do magical healing then?
Do you want to do a
I'm,
second,
like,
a
almost
second, and then 1?
Anybody need a
healing?
first? Or healing?
No.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay.
I still have sorcery points, so
Do
if I need
you-
a spell slot, I can.
Do you have a first you've used?
Hmm?
Have you used a first?
I've used 2 first level spell slots.
Then let's go ahead and let you
Second,
take a
second,
first.
first.
There we go.
5.
That way we used all 5.
Miss Gwynwyn,
Yes.
your wand or your
The stirring rod, but yes.
you watch as her hand glows very lightly, and she just whispers a prayer as she places her hand upon it, and you feel the same way that normally you release the energy of the energy of magic through it. You feel, for one of the first times, the energy swell within you from outside. It isn't stronger in any sense, but it's restorative. You feel refreshed.
Interesting.
Walking over, Lady Callister. She'll do the same thing. When you take her wand, she just points her finger and presses against the end of it. Your blade?
Spellbooker. I'm gonna. Don't freak out. I'm gonna pull out Martyr's Lament. Maybe,
I have questions.
I have answers. Maybe not for right now, but which one would you like?
She places her hand on the hilt of Martyr's Lament. This old metallic weapon, small cracks forming in the center of it, and just whispers, "By the light of the 9," and is going to expend the last of her charges. She's depleted using 1/1. Oh wait, she had 5 charges, and you went 2/1/1. She has 1 charge left.
2, 2, 1.
We
Oh.
depleted Jam.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've ever
2,
said
2, 1. Gotcha.
NPC use everything on us.
Jem, not that I don't. I know you've had a fight before, but
Should
do
Jam,
mind-
at this point, should Jam stay here though instead of trying to escape?
I
we
think
also have
here.
Rickert on site. We
Right.
have. Do you think you could stay with Rickert behind just in case? Maybe.
I'll be here in front of
You
the house.
you getting some reports from some of the other members of the Smiles. Kistry, who's over on the northern side, calls out, "We've got a group heading up. They're a couple blocks out."
Yeah.
And you hear a similar report. It looks like they're coming from 2 directions, the north
Tell
and
you
the
what,
south.
El, stay with Jam. Protect Rickert.
But I want
Adon, you stay here.
Remember, the structure itself is
They'll
inside
come
the
to
wall.
us. We need to pick them off as they come up, though.
But I have Binding Ice, which can slow a lot of them down.
Yeah, I have stuff too. It's okay.
Okay.
We'll be fine.
They could hide out in the alchemy lab, and if anything opens the door,
We have the
start
vault.
throwing fire. There's
Vault as
what?
well. They could
The
hide
vault's
in
not-
the vault.
I don't think the vault's big enough for. person?
Also, the vault
I don't know.
That would-
contains a person.
Vault
Currently.
contains a person right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. Party has not spoken to him yet, but
Forgot.
Kieran Chadal is
Okay,
he's in his undies in the basement.
maybe they hang back. If y'all really want, I'll be middle guard.
I'll stand back to provide support.
I'll also leave
There's
Ronor
a
with
dock in
them.
the back,
Ronor.
For an escape.
just for you to know. Yeah. I don't think there's a boat there,
Swim.
Swim.
but
The way out.
it's harder to aim for things in water.
She looks over at like Rickart's still sitting by the front door, on like he does not have a weapon.
Oh,
There are things you're supposed to do.
No.
no.
No, buddy.
No.
No. Stay safe.
No, that's
Oh, I thought Rickert was.
Rickert sounds like this.
I thought you were saying Rickert's like those things you have to
No.
do, and he's like gonna go
Jam
throw himself
looks over
in
at
a
Rickert
fire.
and just says, "There are things you have to
No.
do," and has her weapon.
If it comes to it, I'd rather you run.
Dunk, dunk, dunk. Boots on cobblestone, guys.
Quickly, I'm
Take
going
this.
to pull Adon and Yosef aside and just say, keep Rickard safe. If you're overrun, retreat to the docks.
If you don't mind, I have a alternative idea. What if we stayed up here with you? We kept the rest of the Smiles back. Milton has them. I trust him with my life.
That sounds good.
I've got the
Fair.
Dawn Street right here,
If you want it, you got him and you got Ralnor.
ready to roll.
If you want both of them to be involved, I will ask for you to hand Adon to Connor.
Ooh.
Buddy.
Fun.
I know how much you love rolling these stats.
Oh, a marshal.
Let's get
I haven't
ready.
had one of those in a while.
Let's get ready.
So I need to ask.
It's fine.
This battle is divided into two flanks. Those who are so the south, which includes the gate, and the north. And as such, I'm going to ask when you roll initiative for you to tell me which of these you'd like to be on. Remember, the south has the gate, the north does not. So the south is harder to defend.
You want one of our caster or AOE people?
I'm gonna because time is limited. I'm gonna go around the table and just ask Connor, where is Laurentius going?
South.
And I'm gonna assume Adon goes with you.
Yep.
Okay. Gwynwyn,
North.
Ralnor, and Ismini
I'm also gonna go north with both.
Oh,
is then we've got finally Jam and Alilie.
South.
Here we go.
I gotta go up top now. And he begins running up to go. You hear him climbing up the ladder inside. He's heading upstairs. He's got a crossbow. He doesn't need to be down here.
Nope.
With this, you also hear Kistry and Tance, the archers, heading up to try to provide additional support in there. Milton goes, if anyone comes near your entrance, well, I polished my axes today.
Great.
Very fun.
Thanks, Milton.
Well, like a 20th level barbarian. I know.
20th level rogue. No.
Maybe on footnotes, we'll need to talk about how I feel about that sort of thing.
Thrown weapon fighter.
I know.
Yeah, he throws axes.
He throws axes. I love him.
Yes, belt of axes on his side. It looks like he's got about a dozen of these things. There's small hand axes that he can throw.
You tell me Milton Brask is not our ex machina. Damn.
Adon is stronger than Milton is, and Adon's not stronger than the party.
Yeah.
All right, taking this time to back up, reinforce yourselves. I'm going to need everyone to roll for initiative.
Done.
We're going to start first with the Northerners, Gwynwyn, Ismini, and Ralnor. Gwynwyn,
My ribs are hurting, so I only got a 6.
your ribs are hurting, yes, from your injury against the Banderhobs.
Yep.
Ismini,
I got a 19. Ralnor got a 14.
Oh, do I need to roll a Dawn separate?
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Can I have ignited my weapon?
Yes, you've had time before this to do that sort of thing. Ralnor. Okay. On the southern side, we're gonna go. Laurentius.
Dawn is a 17, and I am a 15.
You're 15.
15. Yeah.
Jam.
Jam is a 12.
Ililie.
19.
Okay. We're gonna start at the top of the round. Ililie, Jam is over closer to the door, standing kind of facing towards the gate, her back towards the structure, as you're kind of stepping out to go and protect. She's actually relatively close to Laurenti, or do you want to be on the wall so you can have the most vision?
Yeah, I want to be able to see.
The wall itself is not super tall. It's basically like 6 feet tall, but it has a walkway so you can stand over and look down. The wall itself is mostly wood with stone columns and the occasional bit of support.
Cool.
But as you start, Jam does mention those sound like guards.
It's essentially ex-mob members disguised as guards, they're burning down houses everywhere and getting away with it because of what their attire looks like.
It is your turn. Now, there's no battle map here. We're on a bit of the theater of the mind, and these turns don't represent 6-second intervals necessarily. On this first turn, as you know, you have the gate access. There's no one who's entered the gate yet. It looks like they're a short range away. They're still 80 or so feet out from the gate itself. What are you doing this turn to prepare?
To prepare on this turn, they're 80 feet away. Do I think
Roughly.
they'll Can I guesstimate whether they'll arrive within a round? Is that fair to ask?
That's basically what's happening here.
Yes. Just so I don't waste spell slots. Thorn, do you have a big boom planned that I shouldn't interfere with?
If they get within 20 feet of the gate, I have a big boom.
Okay. Knowing he has a big boom planned, I'm gonna go ahead and activate my Arcane Eye as an action to give myself blind sight.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to bonus action weapon burst with lightning damage.
I see now. I understand.
Okay. Imbuing your body with these magical enchantments, we're going to go ahead and keep on going. It is Adon's turn. For this first turn, Adon's going to kind of look over here. He's not really super useful at range. I was thinking about just getting by the gate and readying myself.
Get there.
All right, he's going to hop on down. Just because nothing's really happening this turn, I'm just going to kind of rush through him, looking forward. Oh! As he's kind of looking down, looks to be about a dozen of them. We're then going to continue on. Laurentius, it is your turn. The soldiers are they're not quite here yet, but they're in, you'd call it short to medium range.
So not within range of a spell?
No, we're not worrying so much about feet here. The whole point of Theater to Mind, you're fine. They're well within range of most spells.
Okay.
It's 30 feet, no.
No, okay. Then I will cast Arm of Agathis just to get some extra HP.
Forming up, you see this again green flames and consolidating into a frosty exterior to your armor. All right. It will now be the soldiers' turn. You just hear dunk, dunk, dunk as the soldiers. You can see one of the soldiers here has actually got this tall plume on it, like gold, gilded flower, gilded feather atop his shako, and just points to the men and points to your home and just yells charge as what looks to be about a dozen of these soldiers begin running up towards you, and you just hear for the city as these soldiers are coming. As they begin heading forward. This first turn, they don't get much done. It looks like about half of them are heading towards the gate, and half of them are heading over towards the wall itself. You can see, some of them carry long spears and shields. The ones heading towards the wall look like they have. One of them has a large cylinder of metal. Looks like a shatterer. But that is going to be their turn. It is Jam's turn. Jam's just going to hold on this first turn. Not much Jam can do here. Finally, before we jump over to the other battlefields, you do watch the plumed man kind of keep in the forces but close to the back here and is kind of walking slower, weapon not drawn at this time. Let's jump to the north side. You guys don't have a gate to defend. People can't arrive here by default, but what you do have is about twice as many soldiers heading your direction. You see the soldiers are accompanied by a man on... We good?
Dodged it.
Nice. Accompanied by a man on horseback. He wears a gleaming breastplate and is holding a bannered lance in his hand, which he raises aloft as the soldiers begin heading closer. You look and you can see a pair of those men with those sort of siege-style weapons. These they're shatterers, is what they are. We're gonna start with Ismini. Ismini, as these men begin to approach, what are you doing?
Why do you approach our home?
You shout out at these men here. I'm gonna see how into the just with words, it's gonna be pretty difficult here. You watch as the march continues unabated.
Fine, fireball.
You did pick the wizard.
Wizards!
27 points of damage. And the biggest clump I can hit. Don't come at me, bro. Don't
You
come
did put
at
the
me.
pyromaniacs together.
I love wizards.
I asked.
The point of orange light appears so briefly that many of the men do not see it before their lives end. You watch as several of these soldiers fall, the explosion hurtling some of them into nearby structures as this massive explosion of flame it rocks a huge cluster of them. You watch as the horse rears, and the knight, seeing this, his will doubled and readying himself, begins charging forward, gazing at you, looking as he after looking at his men charging out forwards.
To end my turn,
Yeah.
I say, answer me or I'll do it again.
On the soldier's turn, give me an intimidation check with advantage. That is Ralnor's turn. Is Ralnor holding over next to you?
Yeah, currently holding over next to me.
Great.
Do you need the intimidation check?
It is now the soldier's turn.
It's only a 12. But I am intimidating.
You watch as several of the men here seem genuinely shaken, taking their turn to actually just raise shields. These siege weapons, these shatterers, do not get to the wall itself this turn, and just these men are looking up, some of them with just horror at what just happened here. But they persist nonetheless. It's going to be Gwynwyn's turn. Gwynwyn, you watch as these men charging forward. What are you doing? I rolled so bad on my knight's initiative.
I'm aiming on the knight who is charging towards his meanie. I want to hit him with a firebolt.
Just realized this is a level 7 siege battle.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, gosh.
Make your shot.
23.
23 is a hit. You see, he brings up his heater shield, but even through that, you're able to kind of knock it out of the way.
21 points of fire damage.
21 points of fire damage. You strike against this knight, who cries out, "Men, for our city!" And he's gonna keep on fighting
Are there
here.
really of Elts?
That is then going to be the southern front.
The bad
They
general. said
can't
that.
be actual guards.
That is going to be Ililie's turn. Elle, you can see that on this turn, the soldiers they're all very close range. Easily, you're able to get to them this turn if you'd like, but the soldiers some of them are going to be able to enter the gate on this turn where you and Adon are near.
I would like to do a quick check to see, just for my peace of mind, these are Mr. Bugarda's forces.
Explain to me what you're doing.
I'm looking for the signs that we saw before. Military armor instead of guard armor.
Oh, this is explicitly I use the term platoon. I should have been more clear. There is a platoon of soldiers led by a knight on one side and a plumed soldier on the other side. It certainly is not guard attire. This is the army. Now, it's a small number. There's about a dozen on your side. There's about 24 on the other side. But roughly, depending on the specifics there, haven't had a time to do a perfect head count. You could be close to 50
Remember
people
who
here.
Bugarda had in his pocket?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have the name on the
Yeah.
page, but yeah.
That's who's
Captain Placket.
that's who's
Yes.
sending them.
There's a bunch of them in front of me.
There are plenty of them here.
Cool, great. I'm gonna cast a spell with my turn. So I'm gonna need some con saves for their 30-foot cone outside of.
You can hit your side. Dawn's gonna go ahead and shoulder to shoulder and go and help you with this.
Yeah, 30-foot cone. Con save.
Okay. It looks like about 2/3 of them failed their save.
So I'm gonna roll. Okay, for people who take the failed save, they take all of the damage and are hindered by ice formations for 1 minute.
We saw this last time as you free several of these soldiers. 13?
Yeah.
Okay. However, no one here dies. You watch as it looks like some of the soldiers get frozen in place, and those that are frozen in place kind of slow down, and as they do, the ice kind of takes hold of them mechanically unconscious here. So like some of them are frozen, tugging at their legs, frozen to the ground, exhausted by the force of this wave of Arctic energy. But you see that you've obliterated several of these folks. You've held off a good chunk of them. It looks like about 2 or 3 of these men are still charging towards the gate at this point.
Cool. As a reminder, anyone who failed will need to use their action to break
The
away
failed
the
ones
ice.
are at 0.
Yes. And anyone who's successful only takes half damage, no hindering. And then I'm just gonna move along and kind of set myself up for using a bit of battle sense. I think we've been in plenty of battles. Set myself up to put a Dawn in a nice spot to hopefully get advantage if I can.
Okay, I like that very much. It is Adon's turn. Ililier has now maneuvered herself in between these two remaining soldiers who were close to the gate, and Adon is able to get advantage on these rolls if Adon would like to.
Hell yeah. So he'll swing with normally, because he'll do the heavy swing.
All right, using the heavy swing, make his first attack.
Ooh.
Charging up behind, you see Adon takes his one swing, trying to sunder this shield.
14?
A 14 is not going to do it. As he kind of strikes against you, watch as splinters of wood burst off of this.
Two attacks, right?
Yes, you have your second attack. Burst off of the shield, but he's not quite able to break through it.
10.
You watch Adon is just beating down on the shield, but as Ililier was fighting these two people, they end up kind of regrouping a bit and forming a minor shield wall protecting each other. The coordination's pretty solid here, and they're able to hold off Adon for a little bit here. It is then Laurentius' turn. Laurentius, you see that Ililier's got the gate covered with Adon, and that squad is mostly been dealt with. The other side, the squad that is led by the plumed man, is still heading towards the wall. They're basically heading to break the wall segment you're on.
How close are they?
20 to 40 feet, depending on where you want it.
If I jump down from the wall and move up 10 to 20 feet, will they be within like 10 feet, roughly?
Yeah, I'd allow that.
Okay. I'll do that, and then I'll cast Sonic Blast.
Oh, okay.
So we got knocked down.
So, dex save for everyone affected. It's a 30-foot cone.
You hear the lieutenant here just call out, "All right, here he comes. Get him."
Blast.
What save am I making? I'm sorry.
Dex save.
Oh,
In a 30-foot cone.
I will say this. Good news, bad news. Oh, wait. Good news, maybe good news, bad news. Does a 16 pass?
Yes.
The lieutenant
Yes.
saves. 2/3 of the men fail. How much damage is this?
All right, let me add this up. 29?
29 points of damage. Psychic Blast is concussive force, is that correct?
It is
Or is it-
force damage.
It's force damage. As you kind of reach out with your mind, pieces of cobblestone shatter from the ground, some of which actually fly up in the air, splintering bits of armor, causing chain links to fall to the ground. Men are knocked back far, and you look as looks to be like 2 or 3 men are standing here with the lieutenant. The lieutenant himself kind of shaking his head as the shield wall parts once more. Begins drawing out what looks to be this kind of an odd-looking weapon. You can tell it has 2 sorts of edges to it, though I'll need you to make me a history check to identify it. It's a strange, long-bladed weapon.
I anyone who failed was pushed back 20 feet. Just
They're knocked down and
and
unconscious.
prone. Yeah, exactly. I rolled a 11 on my history check.
Nice.
You do not recognize this
different
weapon.
than
What I'll tell you is this: this is a non-martial weapon.
Is it
It's
sharp?
not a. It's not a standard weapon.
Is it
It
sharp?
is a double-ended bladed weapon.
I point my sword at him, and I end my turn.
Ooh, okay. That is gonna. We're gonna continue. It is gonna be the soldier's turn. Couple things are gonna happen. We've got these two here who are fighting with Adon and Ililie. Kind of seeing what's going on here. The two of them. Yeah, I think it's what we've got to do. Woo! Because I do have two of them. So only. So what they're gonna do? You watch as the two soldiers. You watch them. One of them takes his weapon and drops it to the ground and procures what looks to be a net, and is going to try to throw this on top of you. Try to cast this over you. You watch as the other person is going to provide the help action on this, sort of like how we're doing with flanking here. Now, Ililie, I have to ask. Does a 15 hit you? As they're trying to toss this over, you just hear them like tugging down. The net actually gets to your body physically, but as you're kind of pulling around, starting to carve through the thick, knotted ropes of the net, suddenly a shoulder runs into one of the men here, kind of pushing out of the way, and you're eventually able to acrobatically get out of the net itself, and they are unable to subdue you. Going over on the other side, however, I got these two boys over here next to the lieutenant, and they are, in fact, going to attack you. You watch as one of them pulls out a battle axe, and the other pulls out what looks to be a long, crooked dagger. Dagger first. That's a super miss. The other one with that axe is going to go ahead, and that is a miss. These bandits are going Oops.
Soldiers?
These soldiers...
Rewind.
These two here, bandits. These two are going to make their second attack each.
Still said it.
I know, yes, no, that's the yeah.
I didn't-
The guy with the dagger misses with both of the attacks. The guy with the battle axe, 17 to hit on the second swing.
Shield.
Is unable to strike against you as the two of them begin coming at you. You watch as one of them tries to kick your leg, and the other one comes in with the knife, and are not quite able to get you. They bring their shields up. Just to cover as much of their body as they can, but they're going to keep on fighting. We will then continue down. It is Jam's turn. Jam is going to hyperventilate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like this battle's going well. I feel like Jam would be emboldened, right? A little bit, perhaps?
Sure. I don't think Jam's drawing her weapon.
I don't think she's drawing her weapon either. I think she's going to use her action to do Radiant Soul.
It's a bonus action if you want her to use it. It's once per day. You want her to use it?
Yeah, it's the afternoon. If you may.
Let me make a quick roll here.
I have an alternate suggestion as well.
Come here.
Whispers? In our campaign? Hey guys, come
Hey.
join us on Discord.
That's so funny.
Like, subscribe, and comment on YouTube.
I
No.
was literally like,
No, but seriously, if you guys want to come hang out
Yeah,
on our
it's
Discord,
your
it's
decision
a
what
super
happens.
fun
That's
place.
why I gave you consent.
We're all active on the Discord, posting memes, posting
Sure,
pictures
sure.
from the campaign, posting bird memes from me not knowing how
Also-
to say flock of familiars.
yeah, like and subscribe and shit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys covering up the whispers.
Y'all are great. Jam aims back, and she's going to use her bonus action to use the help action.
So she's going to call out. Who is Jam assisting in this moment?
Can I be selfish, guys?
Yes.
Yeah,
Can I be
she's
selfish?
You're controlling Jam.
I
Yeah.
would love for
Yeah.
her to
Best.
help Elle. So
I'm selfish with all of my NPCs.
Remember what you said. Quick on your feet.
quick on my feet.
She's going to. She calls out to you and is going to keep on looking. I will say one thing. Jam is able to help as a bonus action. She can also help someone else if you'd like.
Yeah, sure. She's going to help. Well,
She can't white read Laurentia, so it basically is a Dawn or. It's actually a Dawn
yeah,
is what
Dawn.
she has.
She
here.
helps the dog.
All right, calling out. She's going to give a couple inspiring words to each of you. This will give you not only advantage on your next attack roll, but an additional 2d6 if that attack hits
Yes.
Wow.
on damage.
Nice.
Question: what
I
are
love
our
this
archers
ability.
doing? Yosef and the others.
Your archers have been rolling. Your archers have been rolling. They're technically numbers, though I will admit.
You define a single digit.
So I
number.
will. So to kind of explain, I think this is fine. Part of it is that mechanically, the specific numbers. The reason that these are on the edges is because they're representing a larger form of combat. They're technically actually guard swarms or soldier swarms. But that was Jam. It is initiative 10 at long last, and it is the lieutenant's turn.
Boo.
He's going to go ahead. He's at the shorter weapon. It becomes much more recognizable as he extends the center, the haft of it, and begins to, in both hands, spinning it around. He doesn't have a shield on him. He's gonna use his action and his bonus action, so he can make 3 attacks with this double-bladed scimitar.
All right, Thanos.
They are, yeah. So it's basically 2 swords on a big old stick.
Yeah.
With the main part of the weapon,
Spicy music change.
22 to hit.
That hits.
The other one super misses, and finally the bonus action hits.
Is your shield still active?
Super misses.
Oh,
That's why the 22 hit.
yeah.
Do me a favor, make me a Constitution saving throw.
Don't do that.
This isn't to maintain concentration on something, so I don't have it.
Correct.
Ooh.
You're too far away.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's us.
11.
You take 4 additional points of damage, and attack rolls you make in the next turn have disadvantage.
Oh, that's okay. I can fix that.
I'm so sorry. I didn't give you the initial damage, did I?
No.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Your total damage for the turn is 13 total damage. Some
Oh.
poison, some,
With the plus
some
4?
slashing. Yes. That's all of it combined.
Including it all. Okay.
There goes that tempe.
He only
Is
hit
he
once,
within?
so-
Yeah.
He is. He came up to you and started spinning this weapon at you.
He takes 10 points of cold damage.
10 points of cold damage and does not appreciate that.
Armor of Agathis.
I love Armor of Agathis.
Yeah.
I've never been able to cast it in a session.
So great.
I know.
It's really good.
Never played a Warlock.
All right, continuing this fight, this man kind of looks at you,
It's as far
smirk
up
on
now.
his face. He's got this rough, scraggly beard, and continues fighting against you. Let's go back to the north. I appreciate your patience, both of you. Ismini, it's your turn at the start, and you watch as the men get to the wall itself, and you watch as the 2 Shatterers are trying to hit up against the wall. Mechanically, it doesn't matter until their turn, but
How many live?
there's about 15 men still living.
Cast Fireball.
Ooh, that's a
How
lot of
many?
6s. Well, there's a 5 there, too. Oh, my God.
I only
I'm
see
about to
one
have to make a
one.
horse acrobatics check.
29 points of damage again for these guys over
29
here.
bros.
Yeah.
Nice.
You watch as the vast majority of the northern forces have been decimated by this.
It was 24, now they're gone.
Another huge explosion. The reason is because there's multiple groups here.
Yeah.
So many at a time.
I know.
However, you watch, seeing this, the charge, even though the Shatterers have stopped, the charge of the horse still continues closer and closer towards you. He doesn't act until initiative 2, but you watch as the front hooves leave the ground. But we'll get to what's happening there in a second. It is Ralnor's turn. Ralnor doing anything?
Ralnor's gonna drop down and bite the ankles of one of the Shatterers.
Sick him. Ralnor leaps down. Make your attack rolls.
Oh no, that was a bite. Bite's definitely not gonna hit. Chomp is a +6, 10. Ralnor can't roll for shit. Ralnor doesn't hit anybody.
Ralnor goes down and you see he fully subdues one of these people, but like you see the guy's wrestling. He's basically Ralnor is chewing on one of these shattering columns.
Ralnor has hit one time.
That isn't going to be Gwynwyn's turn.
I'm hitting the knight who's charging, so.
No, you're right.
21.
21. I cannot parry range attacks, so that is a hit.
Ralnor died.
Just you tell though, very barely did that hit.
The worst I could roll on that, 7.
Worst.
2 1s?
2 1s and I can still do 7.
Wow, that's not
Should I
bad.
put that in the book? I'm just kidding.
Minimum damage.
Minimum damage on a firebolt.
I don't have any bicycles. I would really. Does anyone want to use a bicycle on me? I
No.
don't think they do. I'm about to attempt a horse acrobatics.
Do a
I'm going to
flip.
try to. It's a 5-foot fence,
Mm-hmm.
very high. It's a very well trained horse.
Are you ponying this?
If you,
I am trying to opponent this
if
because
you
I'm.
pass me, you know what's gonna happen, right? I'm killing that horse.
Explain to me what you're doing. As the knight leaps up, lance in hand, and just calls out, "You shall yield, villain!" and readies his lance.
Great. If anybody passes me, meaning if I can make
It'll
an
be, the
attack,
horse provokes.
the horse provokes an attack of opportunity. I'm going to cast magic missile on the horse.
Okay. The horse is quite hurt
It was
by
first
the
level.
by the first
Fireball?
fireball.
Minimum damage, so that'll be 3 plus 1, 4 points of damage.
As these 4 darts strike against the muscular underbelly of this white horse, as it tries to leap over, you watch the because of the change in angle, the horse's rear legs hit the wall, cracking through the old splintered wood of the top, nearly knocking you off balance, as Meanie, and it stumbles, falling over to the side, and the knight is dismounted in your courtyard. You see as he begins trying to stand back up, dropping the lance to one side, trying to draw out his weapon. He isn't able to really act this turn because of what you've done here, and he's also below you.
And that was my reaction.
But he's just going to draw out his equipment. He looks at you, fury in his eyes. That was his turn. We're going to go back to the southern end. Ililie, these 2 men are trying to subdue you.
How does the lieutenant look that's facing off against Thor?
Lieutenant's he's hurt, but he's not out of it. The guy's pretty darn tough.
Okay,
You got 2 guys who are still on you with Adon. Adon's not sweating this though.
yeah. You good?
I'm fine right now.
I don't know if I believe you.
I hit him 1 time for like 12 damage.
I had 10 HP as well.
I'm gonna trust Adon with the 2 like.
I got
trumps.
this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the lieutenant. So
Do you have enhanced alacrity on at the moment? Is that
no,
what
I
you're
do
doing?
not. So they will get.
Make
an
me
AOL.
no. Do me a favor. Make me an acrobatics check or an I'm so sorry.
Pick one.
Your acrobatics, because of your subclass, I'll allow. Just to see if you're able to get there in time. You are going quite far on this one. DC, let's call it 16.
Yeah, it's 24.
24. Pretty good. You are able to sprinting
Yeah.
out of there,
I'm
picking
great.
some AOs. And these AOs, you do see, are actually they're trying to swing out with their shields, just trying to kind of knock you over. These people are trying to they're trying to catch you. It seems like. One looks like it hits.
Sure.
Make me a strength saving throw and minimum damage. Go ahead and take me. That is 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Not a great 7 on the strength saving throw.
7 total.
Yeah.
You were knocked prone as
Okay.
you're trying to leave their range. So
if
you're not
I-
able to get to the lieutenant this turn.
Is it for my I would like to take my reaction since I was damaged. I'm gonna
Okay.
make a melee attack against the target.
As you're
To
you,
reply.
like target in your eyes, looking at this lieutenant, you turn and you're struck by a shield. Immediately invoking this magical blade, this magical shard with you. You swing around, striking with Martyr's Lament.
24.
24 is a hit. Is this lethal or non-lethal damage?
Non-lethal.
Okay.
Nice.
You shatter the shield that's knocked you over.
damage separate?
I don't need any of this damage because I had very little health. You can't roll. You want to roll it anyways. Please.
You
do.
also have the d6s to roll from.
Plus 2d6 for jam.
Rolling dice is fun.
You destroy the shield. Not only the wooden outside, but actually the small metal piece in the center that allows for the grip is split in 2.
20 total points of
20
damage.
points of damage. Shield is sundered. He is knocked back and he is unconscious.
Was that my whole turn or?
So you
I know
still have
it's
your
not
second
throw.
attack. If you want, so stand up. You can go swing. Use your second. You can use your attacks on the other guy. But
I'm not gonna be able to get to lieutenant.
no, I took half your speed.
Yeah, fair. I'm gonna swing on the other guy.
Okay. You have
Uh,
advantage. Adon's here.
Marking out for that one. That's going to be
I think we're gonna change how we work that advantage system. on
14.
14. 14's a miss on these guys.
Yeah, because we've been telling Nat ones and we don't
Yes.
use the Nat one.
That's what I mean. It's like, why?
The bat-
24 for the second hit.
That'll hit. You go ahead and roll the damage, but Once again, this man struck. You split his helm, though his head, like you say, you actually take the pommel itself, shatter his small metal cap, and he falls unconscious. 12 points of damage. He's out. That is Adon's turn. Adon is the only thing he'll be able to do is dash over and give you advantage versus the Lieutenant Laurentius.
That sounds good.
And that is going to be your turn. There are still 2 of these soldiers here next to the lieutenant.
Oh, okay. I'll bonus action cast a spell.
No responses.
Green Flame Blade. And I'll take my swing at the lieutenant.
Ooh.
So jealous.
Filling your weapon with all sorts of magical flames.
22 to hit.
22 is a hit against
As a bonus action, I meant casting it quicken spell. Sorry, I didn't clarify that.
I would like to use my reaction. After you roll roll your damage, please. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw. I didn't know if I was going to get to use this.
13 points of damage.
13 points of damage and make me a dex save. The DC is 15.
11.
Laurentius, I'm so sorry. Connor. Men everywhere. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
As you strike him,
Can I roll the damage on the guy next to him?
please do.
10.
10 points of damage. Second guy goes down. Connor, as Laurentius strikes against him with his blade, he staggers back. A moment of vulnerability on him. You ready yourself to swing again, like continuing the fight. And in this moment, as you've committed to the attack, he raises a metal-coated heel, a metal-coated boot, his greaves, and connects with the most delicate of places, and is going to strike you. Connor, I'm so sorry, but you have once again you have disadvantage on your attack rolls in the next turn.
Okay. So,
He
can I
kicks you in the
still
nerds.
attack?
So do you have a mean for a second attack? If you'd like to quicken spell, it would just be with disadvantage.
I did quicken spell that first one.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Would you like to do that again?
Well, I'll just attack again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go for
For
it. Your
attack.
attacks have disadvantage as you've succumbed to a dirty trick.
Even with the dawn?
It'll be a flat roll.
Flat roll.
Right.
21 to hit.
21 is a hit. Jeez.
It's a flame blade again. For 9 points of damage, and I'll roll the damage to the other guy.
I'm past bloody, by the way.
13 on the other guy.
The lieutenant is all by himself.
Aw,
Cool.
that's disappointed.
I will swallow my balls, and that's the end of my turn.
Adon's like, I got him. You take a minute, buddy. It is the lieutenant's turn. I'm going to bonus action disengage. And I'm going to dash away.
Where are you gonna go?
Coward.
He's running. He's like,
I'm like-
retracting his weapon.
At the highest voice possible.
You heard him.
But as he retreats, still in line of sight from the warehouse, we're going to go back to the north end. Ismini. This knight is here. He's got a long sword in one hand. He's readying out a shield, though he's not finished equipping it yet at this point. Or he still has his shield from before, actually. So he's got his shield and sword out.
How many others still live?
I got it. We're gonna see a third fireball?
You can see that it looks like the bulk of the men have been routed. There looks to be about 2 or 3 men that are still holding firm with the shield wall, but there are no shatterers left, and it looks like the arrows from above have caused what remains about 8 or 9 people who are falling back.
Gwynwyn, do you want to deal with the last few people here, or this guy with the dead horse?
I'll deal with the guy with the dead horse.
All right, great. So if there's a shield wall, there's likely a guy in the center of the shield wall of 3, correct?
Yes.
I cast Ice Knife.
Roll to hit. I
will.
don't know if you'll hit.
Oh, I didn't hit. It'll be a 14 to hit.
Very much a miss. The 3 of these shields sort of interlocked are quite hard to get past, and it shatters harmlessly against the shield itself.
I tried. Can't always be a winner.
That is the soldier's turn, and the rest of the soldiers are going to go into a full retreat. Those of the shield wall are taking the dodge action and are retreating back.
Gwynwyn, this knight is standing here. You will yield in the name of the crown.
Show me the official paperwork that grants you access into our property to arrest us.
As he's kind of holding this, stay your weapon and I shall.
That's not what I said. Show it. You attacked us first. Show us the paperwork.
Okay. He's not going to put his weapon down against you.
I will ready a spell, so if he goes to attack next turn, I will launch my spell, but I'm not going to launch it now. I'm preparing a spell to cast.
Okay.
Oh, just
That is the knight's turn. You watch as he does this. He looks down at his horse, who's not dead. You didn't kill the horse.
I
You don't have
know.
the horse.
I think we can keep the horse.
I should kill the horse.
Steady Stella.
The horse. More horses.
He takes his blade and at this pristine, polished sword stabs it into the muck and pulls out this fine scroll. I have the writ here, mage. Is going to toss it to you.
I'll catch it.
By order of the crown, you are all to yield.
I want to look it over, see if I notice any like misspellings,
Sure.
anything that's out of place on a scroll like this.
There's not really anything happening, so we're gonna jump over to the other side because the other side has mechanics here.
It's really good that an intelligent person got that scroll.
Yeah.
I need to know
50,
what the
50.
south side is doing at the moment because the only enemy left in this combat is
Thorns
the
is-
knight and the lieutenant.
The attendant that ran away.
The lieutenant is sprinting away, but he's still in line if anyone wants to go deal with him.
You got blasting, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna blast him, right?
So anyone started blasting?
Yeah.
Anyways, y'all started blasting.
Yeah, we're just
in that case, if you'd like to each make me your relevant cantrip attack rolls, and Gwynwyn, make me an investigation check as you begin looking this over. The knight
I got a now one.
breathing heavily.
I got an 18 on one.
I'll use my last flash of genius, a 20, math 20.
A math 20. Looking over this document is well made. It has the sigil of the crown here. Now, when he says in the name of the crown, what he means is more specific than that. Specifically, this is an edict issued by one Captain Sten Placket. The order involves the arrest of, and you can see that it actually lists out the names of each of your party members for the murder of, and you can see several different names are listed here, each of which are tied to various, you can see here, rankings within the Eltzian military. You've been accused of killing a collection of Eltzian soldiers by the captain, and the knight is here to take you in.
True now.
Yeah, now it's true.
Did we do it? Yes.
We killed 2.
I did.
We
Eldritch
killed only 2
blast.
soldiers.
I rolled an 18 on one of the blasts. The other one was a 12. So I'm assuming
Roll the damage?
91.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
11. Points of damage.
Lieutenant Dorn is down.
Good night.
The battle has calmed as some of the soldiers are in full retreat, though you know not what is to come here in the future.
Do you think we're ever allowed to sleep? Or are they just gonna...
We've got an entire problem on our side of the map.
I think we need to spend some money, but maybe we should address the issue.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
I agree, I agree.
Yeah.
The issue here is that each of you must drop your weapons.
But we didn't kill these people.
We didn't kill them.
Do you realize that
You're being
your
yeah.
captain is in cahoots with a criminal?
Do you have evidence of such a claim? From where I'm standing, we came to follow a crown-approved order, and you've slain how many of my men, witch?
I mean, that's what I'm aiming for.
Do you realize that the Bugardas are dressing as Eltzian military and gallivanting around the town and burning houses and property?
Who in the hells is Bugarda?
Welcome
A
to
new
the West
crime
End.
lord
You would think
in the
the
West End.
military would be more well informed than
They've
the
been
locals.
mass
Yeah.
burning down houses here
Yeah.
every single day for...
It's-
a-
Continuing down the writ, you've been accused of the arson.
Can I try to persuade this guy?
Sure, you can try to calm him down here.
Pull out
He's
your
got
favor.
full-on sword glowing lightly. Like this man's ready to smite.
I'm just gonna pull out the contracts. Can we go get our
23.
contracts?
Oh, we could also pull up.
We didn't tell him.
No, we're not pulling him out.
We should pull out the favor though.
I rolled a 23 to persuade him to chill out.
What is your charisma modifier?
5. I rolled a 15.
This is a we tied, but
Rollies?
rollies,
Rollies.
rollies, just natural. Oh my god,
18?
19 on the die.
God damn it.
You have a one higher. That's rollies again. If we're just using 14 on the die. You spent it. This is so many dice for a single check to get this guy to fucking chill.
Okay. 25.
You're claiming that Placket is working for this Bugarda?
Not only that, but we've been attacked here in our home literally today by people trying to kill us who were
Dressed-
dressed as Eltzian military.
Like you guys.
Twice.
Yeah.
This is the second
I don't
time
think
today.
we finished cleaning up the bodies, actually.
No, the guards did take. The
guards-
guards came and took them
Oh,
away.
yes, the guards.
Recognizing that they
We
were.
don't have a front door.
Kind of looking over your home. What do you mean the men took the bodies? That's not protocol.
Oh God! Did we give the bodies over to the criminals?
Jeez, we had guards here. Y'all have a serious impersonation problem.
Jam is hyperventilating.
Oh, jeez.
Do some internal investigation.
Because, like, okay, listen. 2 nights ago, we went to go stop some arsons in the middle. Okay, last night we went to go stop
your
some
IA
arsons in the
department.
middle of the night. We got attacked by people in the street who were dressed as Eltzian guard, but they were actually members of a crime syndicate.
Eltzian
As in soldiers who are members of crime
Soldiers
syndicate.
shouldn't. We were pulled from beyond
Right,
the
beca-
bulwark.
Right, because you have to take care of the king and make sure he doesn't get murdered. We
No.
understand.
My men. A raven was sent. We're told to return to the city to assist with this operation.
What was the reasoning?
But
You have the writ there. These are soldiers. They don't live in the city normally. They were out protecting the.
Why would they call
kingdom.
in the Eltzian military to bring in a
People
group
ask
of
less questions.
mercenaries? Why wouldn't they just call the guard? Don't you think this is kind of strange? Maybe out of
It's my
protocol?
understanding that you all, as you mentioned, are mercenaries, and as such,
Oh Lord.
the guard would not be the correct people to handle you.
How do we?
Clearly, my men were not enough either.
Oh shit! I just blew up like 24 people.
I mean, to be fair.
If what you are saying is true,
To be honest, we thought you were
Also them.
these imposters that we've been dealing with for the last 24 hours.
We figured.
We've been attacked at least 4 times just walking around the city.
This would be number
Yeah.
4.
assassinated on the. I was like. Someone
assassination
shot.
attempt.
Yeah, there was an assassination attempt when I was just out this morning. Y'all were attacked when you were out.
We had to
on a
pretend to be
stroll.
monks.
We can't even walk the streets without being accosted.
We do have a
Word.
contract for this Bugarda, but we've been having trouble just trying to
Live long enough to
live long
fulfill
enough
it.
to fulfill it. Yeah.
he pulled out another scroll and is going to open this. If you guys aren't stopping him, he's going to attempt to cast a spell. You may make an Arcana check to determine if you want to.
I'm curious, but I'm not.
I
casting
also
it.
would like to.
I'd like to know.
Our old Nate. Do I know what it is?
Nat 20.
17.
Or 25.
Cool. I don't have to ask what level sending is then. He's casting sending. That fine?
Yeah.
You just hear him saying, "Hold." Like basically explain. He's giving orders to hold. It saying that there's another wave prepped.
I didn't. We have some guys that.
You hear trumpets off in the distance, different than the war horns you heard earlier. Looked like they're passing along orders.
Did we just?
You hear 3, then a 4th.
Who do you report to?
My direct line of command would be General Bailey.
Lord.
But in this instance, there was a dire need, and we were in position for it.
Did they pull all the troops out of the bulwark specifically?
No, I came here with
3 companies of men.
Is it Sten Placket that you're currently reporting to? Because that's who we were
Yes,
told
who
was
was
under
on
the thumb of the Bugardas.
Yes. So just to clarify, because this is
Okay.
you just asked this to him a minute ago.
I just need
He
help.
was sent orders. Hey, the West End needs you. You're the closest soldiers. Come here. He brought 300 men.
So I just killed legitimate Eltzian soldiers.
In self-defense.
I'm still going to jail.
We've been tricked so many times
We've been
today.
duped.
I'm going
I go
to
like
jail.
this.
Our home was destroyed.
I
Our friend almost murdered. We can't even walk the streets.
They brought members from the Shadow Realm. They had strength.
Shadar Kai?
There's,
Shatterkai are just shadow elves.
Yeah.
but I was talking about the.
Yeah.
frog
She's
thing.
talking about the Bander.
Oh, yeah.
Banner
I had a really bad
Shadowfell.
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 You
that's
said
it.
Shadow
Shadow
Realm,
Realm.
and I was like,
You hear
Not the
I was
right
like,
one,
Shadow
but-
Kai.
Why did you kill my soldiers?
You,
the knight summons Blue Eyes
He
White
had a-
Dragon.
He had a fedora and he fucking moonwalked out. It was-
Oh wow! Really impressive.
The daring duelist was also attacked by people wearing guard armor,
soldier armor.
soldier armor, about 5 hours ago as well, and killed someone else.
Yeah, there are
an
plenty of
innocent woman.
witnesses down there to testify.
It's not just us. I mean, everyone in the West End knows that people dressed like soldiers have
You can
been
walk
burning
around.
down homes.
And shaking people down
and
for money.
shaking people down for
destroyed.
money. The poorest of the city.
This man begins pacing, the concern on his face, like he's doing math.
Crisis.
I'm having a crisis. That
If-
just killed 24
and-
men.
I'm not saying that I believe you all.
That's reasonable.
If I entertain this notion, then you are all in grave danger. My authority is not infinite. I can hold the men off for only so long. I hope you have a way to gather evidence for this.
How long can
As-
you hold them off?
Perhaps a few hours we can hold the attack. We've secured this area.
2
You
hours?
guys- So
Zona,
let's,
do you know a spell that would make someone speak the truth? Because we have somebody who's working with these Eltzian soldiers.
It would take me some time. I would have to report to the castle. They have legionnaires there of the Runic Legion. They would be able to
I'm gonna
secure that sort of
I'm
magic.
gonna reach into my pack. For the last time, I'm gonna ask for this because everybody's prompting me to. Open up my pack, open up my little wooden box, and say, "Is there any way we can get this done?" Last time, I promise.
Can I ask for something when she pulls it out? What's the look on Jam's face?
I'm rolling for Jam at the moment.
Okay.
Excuse me,
Oh no.
I would like to speak to Sir Faravel for a bit.
Okay. Bye.
Oh,
Are you okay?
Bye, Jam.
this guy that we almost
Wait,
killed.
wait. We never got the name.
You watch the knight turn over
I know.
and take a quick look at Jam.
We're gonna get in so much
Natural 20.
trouble.
Blood kind of drains from his face for a moment. If you would give us a moment, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
He's holding the favor.
Yeah. I handed it over.
What's in the box? He'll take the little silken thing, and as Jam walks past you, Olivier, her eyes just kind of open wide, like she's trying to say something to you but cannot talk. Looks towards the warehouse and keeps walking over to the knight and starts talking to him.
Can I roll an insight check? I don't mean to prompt project.
Sure.
Do I know what she's trying to convey?
We just played Pathfinder.
Yeah.
You could try. Yeah.
Sorry. I'm switching
you're,
gears.
You're
It's
changing.
fine.
You're switching gears. You're fine. Roll me an insight check here to figure out what the heck is going
This
on.
die has betrayed me. God.
I don't have any.
9. Wait.
I don't have one.
Do I have any bicycles in here? It's real. Imagine if you guys brought in fake bicycles.
I'm gonna go buy
The audacity.
Oh, I'll get real good at making fake ones.
13.
13. If anything, maybe a here's your chance. It's really hard to tell. She looks at you big, looks at your front door. That's it. It's all the real information you've got.
Thorn.
Do Do you say that?
I give you a look on your face.
Subtle spell, detect thoughts.
Spending some sorcery points.
Are you gonna spend sorcery points?
You
already
hear
Please.
a voice in her mind that is ever so slightly different from what Jam normally talks like. The voice here it's less strained and is delicate. Come on. I will explain what's going on, and they'll have a few minutes. If they have the flute, they'll be fine. You explained what you were doing before. Jam present.
I think we need to
And
do
she-
the thing.
We're gonna wait outside.
We'll be in our
Holler if you need us.
we're
Inside, you
we're
mean?
going inside.
Inside.
Yeah, we'll
yeah.
be inside.
Inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
You hear Jam begin talking, kind of explaining the events of the last couple of days to this man. You're going inside. You want to blow in the flute?
Yeah.
As you kind of blow through it, expecting to hear some high-pitched shrill shriek, you hear it ever so faintly, but it is silent to the rest of your party as you're blowing through here.
It's Epina song.
Oh, cool. Thorn. The door to your bedroom opens a few feet away. Gazing through the door, you see not the messy room you've recently been sharing with your uncle, but a fine, noble home. The hearth here, the warm orange light pushing through here, looks like delicate, like glass. These cabinets with glass fronts, containing all sorts of strange curios and oddities. Gesturing over to your party, are you all just following in?
Yeah.
I don't want to smell your
Oh.
socks, Thorn.
They're not clean.
Okay. You kind of passing through this door. Are you closing it behind you?
Yeah.
Gazing about this strange new room, you see there's the light crackling of fire, just this ever so pleasant smell. There's a faint, almost citrusy smell, like a light perfume has dusted this area. You see on a far wall there is mounted with a brilliant gilded mount is a beautiful spear that has been mounted to the wall. There are racks of odd clothing from different locales, a stone archway on the far side of the room, leading to what looks to be another room that is lit by candlelight. It's a little bit dim there, and off in the distance you hear just a light, a high pitched. I said human. A high-pitched female voice, probably humming,
Miss
just
Be-
slightly.
Miss Bean? Miss Bean? Miss Bean.
Hello.
Hi.
Christine.
Hi.
You hear pit, 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 pit. And a few moments later is a small gnomish woman, grayed brown hair, tied up into a little bun. You see that she's got this very pleasant, soft pink with little lavender stripes robe on. She's dressed, but not for company. Oh, I didn't expect to have anyone. Yes, we met in Eltz, was it?
Yes.
Flute, yeah.
Well, I suppose welcome. I will take a moment to freshen up. My apologies for my appearance.
No rush. We came unexpectedly.
Yes, by the way, I will let you know, the four of you are present. None of your NPCs are here with you.
Okay.
Please enjoy looking about and no pocketing things, but don't worry, the house will yell at you if you do. Oh, and if you are to wander, careful with your footing. And is going to she's going to step out. You hear as she walks up what sounds like stairs elsewhere.
Is there a chair?
Inside. Yeah, there's seating here.
I'm
The
going
room
to sit down.
This room here is very pleasant. Feels more like a home than a store. Were it not for these displays of items, some of which with small tags of parchment attached with fine red strings to the items, the string doesn't appear to penetrate through the cloth clothing, but instead just touch as if like an adhesive was applied to it.
Can I look about the room and try to see, like, looking for something that might catch my eye, might spark a memory of something I might have read about? Is there anything famous or infamous in this room?
Weird one.
Weirdly recognizable.
Weird. Okay, this is a hard one because you're kind of mixing skills. I'm asking for a history check with disadvantage. I think what you're doing is kind of you're putting the cart before the horse. So that's why I'm giving
Yeah, no,
disadvantage.
totally fair.
You're kind of looking around here, all manner of, there's scrolls, of some of them on vellum, others on bits of parchment, even others still that look to actually have been etched into small cylindrical stones.
This meeting was super impressive, so that's why I was asking.
Sure.
That's going to be a 16.
A 16, I don't know so much about historical. You see an item that is relatively familiar as due to its fame. There's a set of boots of elven kind here. These sort of softly made, almost looks like leather material, but it's actually some sort of darkened plant fiber that has been bound tightly with small metal plates protecting it. Looking around, historically significant. One other I'll give you with that lower roll here is that there is also a set of fine elven the fine chain shirt that is of elven construction. It is very well made here. Taking a bit of time here, you do see it's hard to identify. There's dozens of potions, scrolls, small little oddities. You spy. Just to add one weird thing, there is a small fish about this big that appears to be swimming through the air on one of these little tables. The fish itself is this little red fish with tall fins on the top and bottom, and then what looks to be a trio of fins on each of its sides, just flying through the air very casually. Its fins weave and bob as if it was in water. A few moments later, the gnomish woman returns, probably about 2.5 feet tall, older. You can see she's applied a little bit of makeup, covering a bit of the age that has come upon her here. Well, I did of course invite you here, so please look around. Feel free to spend all your money here if you'd like. You all have seen better days.
Today's been bad.
Yeah.
Had a really bad day.
Well, seats for all of you. She's gonna go ahead and she twists her finger a little bit, and you watch as some of the chairs begin grinding across the floor to get into a more comfortable position for you.
I sit.
Ugh.
I just killed like 20 guards. 20 actual soldiers of elves.
It's been a tough day.
I nearly died this morning. Yeah, I'm with you. Just
Yeah.
I'm done.
We have a pretty crazy opponent up ahead of us.
You see that she, kind of listening to you, she put this little jade. It's like a tiny little chest made of jade that she opens up, pulls out. It looks a little yellow stone, a jeweler's loop, and then this what looks to be almost a screwdriver, a long thin rod that just begins poking and prodding at this little stone. Well, tell me more about it. Working on a little project.
Well, we're in a bit of a pickle. We've upset some pretty infamous criminals, and they have a lot of ties to some higher ups, and we're needing some firepower, I think.
Oh, well, I can provide that. That's why I'm here. Well, let's see here. I have a few things I could pull out. You're, of course, free to look about and gallivant about my home all you'd like. I do apologize. The lower level library does have a bit of a leak. There's no rain here, but there is, of course, a little bit of light pollution happening there. The atmosphere should be a bit better, but we had a incident. She kind of continues poking at the stone. Is there anything particular you are looking for? And before we continue that, I'm going to say something. We all talked a fair bit between sessions because you guys told me you wanted to go on a shopping spree so that we don't just do all the shopping here all at once. We have a couple of items of note that we'll talk about here, but I do believe it's 9 o'clock, which I believe is when we're going to go ahead and do our quick break. So let's go all fill up our drinks and come back in a minute. We can talk about what you bought here at Miss Vanilla Bean's shop.
Woo. We'll be right back.
Be right back, everybody.
Don't move.
BRB.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Stop. Welcome back, and thank you so much, Jason. We really appreciate it. Jayhawk, one of our dearest friends and a longtime supporter now of the show. We really appreciate you coming by.
You just subscribed.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't say it out loud. It was below my face. Thank you so much, Jayhawk. We really appreciate it. And also, if you guys haven't joined the Discord, that's Uncle Nuri.
Uncle Nuri.
Uncle Nuri,
Uncle
your
Nuri. I was
dearest
trying to
uncle,
type it into the
your
chat.
dearest Uncle Nuri is here. Well, so you're here in Miss Vanilla Bean's shop, looking about just a bit. Now, Gwynwyn, I know you said you're mainly interested in stocking up on potions of healing. Those are only 50 gold pieces each.
Okay.
You can get quite a few of them while you are here.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a couple of things here. Gwynwyn, roll me a d20 just to see if any curiosities that you find while you are here.
An 8.
Okay. Gwynwyn, as you're walking, there is a cloak of remarkable design. It really... Could you pull that cloak off? Like, maybe you could. It's got this... It looks like it has little tassels at the bottom of it. It's not rug-like, but it's a very cute design near the bottom. It has intricate patterns of these sort of angular designs. Do you want to try the cloak on?
Of course.
And I need to know who you're posing for.
I think I'm over to Thorn. He has his cool jacket. I want to show him this cool cloak.
The cloak, Gwynwyn spirals it, hooks it up, attaching it to her breastplate, and you watch as... Gwynwyn, you are armored. You have multiple layers of armor, correct?
Yes.
Your jumpsuit disappears.
Uh-oh.
You are wearing you're wearing a big piece of armor. You're wearing the leather protection that is above the jumpsuit, and the big metallic breastplate. But suddenly, your belly button is out. Your arms are out. This is a cloak of visibility, which it makes you much more noticeable as it renders makes your shirt invisible.
Thorn rolls a Constitution saving throw and fails critically. Blood out of his.
Oh no, Gwynwyn, you are still totally modest. You're wearing more than you would wear to a beach typically, but this is, if you were interested in it, this is a 200 gold piece little item.
Looks good. Looks great.
I'm only going based off of Thorn.
So you get into those potions. Go ahead and we'll worry about the exact numbers for things afterwards. The master grocery list over there for you. Do you want the Cloak of Visibility?
Yes.
You're gonna get the Cloak of Visibility. It is specifically shirts. So whatever you're, it's so
Right.
like your under armor.
Do we write these all down?
You don't have to write everything down. It's 200 gold is the current amount. Ismini, during your time here, you actually get, there's a point where you mentioned you have issues with dark vision, right? Is that something you still having problems with, Ismini?
I mean, it doesn't really play. It doesn't really
Yes.
play in that often.
Yes.
Would.
We all
I
speak
would-
over Victoria.
I would rather buy
You
them.
can't see in the dark.
I would rather buy them for Silas than use them myself.
Well, if I'm being honest, I actually have an old trinket of mine that I think may go well given your manner of dress.
Okay.
She walks away for a bit, comes back a little bit later. She's wearing what looks to be a fine pearl necklace, which shift into a set of goggles as she puts them on, and then shifts it back into a set of jewelry. This time, when she takes it off, it is now a silver necklace with a small eagle-shaped pendant on it. She continues again the transmutation each time, just shifting with the into whichever form. She does have this enhanced form of the goggles of the night. If you'd like them, they are 1,400 gold pieces.
Yikes! No.
Yes.
No, get it.
Yes.
Get
Yikes!
it,
No.
get it.
Absolutely
Yes.
not.
If you don't
not
buy
writing it down.
we will buy
I'm
it
in
for
charge.
you.
I'm in
Okay.
charge.
But we have our own
Okay.
money.
I'm in
Yeah,
charge.
we do have our own money.
Yes, if anyone else would like to buy that for her, you may.
Thorn is
Fine, I'll write it.
spending all of his money.
Fine, I will
on
write it down.
something, so-
Yeah, we will literally buy it for
Get
you.
outvoted,
Yeah,
I
we will
guess.
spend all of our money to buy this for you.
I hate buying.
Ismini, can you roll me a d20
Okay.
for a curiosity that you locate?
7.
Going back over to this strange fish, you can't help but notice it seems to be staying within the like an arbitrary confines. A bit later, you're looking a little bit closer. Maybe you reflect on magical beasts you've met, and you realize this is a mime fish. You take your hand and pretend to stretch an unseen circle around it, and the fish begins swinging in a larger area. The fish itself, as you pantomime, you can change the shape of its container that it swims about in. It doesn't require any maintenance. It's just a small companion. You can also pick up the orb that it's in and walk around, and it will move in time with you.
Interesting.
The fish itself is 500 gold pieces.
Okay.
Get the fish.
I'm not gonna eat the fish. I don't need the fish. I have Ralnor.
We're gonna keep on looking. Ismini, there is one other piece of note that you keep seeing. Maybe Lilier is discussing it with your companions. He kept them pointing at you a little bit here. This set of Elven chainmail is special in a couple of ways. Not only does it harken back to a previous era of Chalcedonian history, this chain bears a sigil of a long-forgotten house of summer. It is not a noble sigil, but some lower house, a servant, much like the Callisters were. This +1 chain shirt is an elven chain, meaning it does not require armor proficiency in order to wear. That would be, in case you're curious, a total of 14 AC plus Dex max 2.
Okay.
This is 600 gold pieces.
Okay.
Something to consider while you are here.
It doesn't change my AC.
It also does. It doesn't require a spell slot to use.
Right.
Good for you.
It doesn't change my AC.
Yeah, but you can free up spell slot.
Isn't mage armor 13 plus Dex actually?
Yeah, it's 13 plus dex. So it's 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 15.
So you get 16.
We'll see.
Okay.
We're gonna all strong arm you into buying things.
We're all just gonna be like, we'll buy it for you if you don't put it on the
It's
party
gonna be
loot.
like, I don't know. We're gonna be like,
Remind-
Twist that wrist.
Reminders. I am in charge of the party loot.
Cool.
I make
They're in charge
final
of their
calls.
loot.
yeah, we're in charge of our own loot.
I make final calls. Okay, so we have the Cloak of Visibility and the Goggles of Night, ++.
Good visibility.
Who would like to go next?
Yeah. Sorry, but it's
I'll go last.
Okay.
I'll go next.
Lilier, there are these boots of elven kind.
I love your boots.
Of
Well,
course.
the ones you're wearing, but also these.
Well,
They're both
thank you so
great.
much. Since we're taking a moment to compliment one another's attire, I couldn't help but notice the mismatched nature of your current accoutrement. I see these elven leathers, but it looks like you're wearing a halfling insert. She kind of moves over one of the collars, taking the magical thunder resist armor you received before, kind of looking at it. Just something you've considered. Have you considered having a glamour weave placed upon your equipment?
I have not so far.
Well, so not to invoke your family in poor taste, I do believe you may be a woman of two worlds. One who has expectations society has placed upon her, and another who wishes to go and dance with dragons and monsters and orcs and all that.
That's fair. That's a fair.
Well,
comparison.
rather than the normal usage, a glamour weave could be used to allow you to change the general appearance of your attire, make it appear soft rather than leather, or change the colors if you'd like.
That could be nice.
350 gold pieces for a glamour weave to be cast. It would allow you to change the leather to look like it's soft materials, make it look more like a dress, or like a fine, like the top you can make look more like a fine vest. If basically you can cast illusory magic on your clothing. No mechanical benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm down.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend my personal. I have a lot that I'm
Okay.
carrying around.
Okay.
I want
350 gold out of personal, totally fine. And roll me a d20.
Sure. I also would like to get the boots.
Sure, the boots
And I can
are
write it.
750 gold.
Cool. 10 on the d20.
10. These boots,
300.
10 on the d20.
It was a 10.
There's a small glass box, and in it a little electrum triangle, which holds the weapon stored in this glass case. In this glass case, made of beautiful, almost white wood, barely stained at all, a pair of red bands delineating one of its two ends, is a beautiful boomerang. It's not particularly large, but the boomerang itself almost appears to have... It doesn't seem to be leaning back into it. It's standing almost leaning a little bit forward here. Oh, well, it is a reliable weapon, if unorthodox. Why don't you give it a throw?
Sure. Inside?
Oh, certainly. Nothing in here I can't fix.
Okay.
She looks up at the hole in the roof, furious, as the hole has a piece of wood that has been put over
I
it.
relate so deeply, and you do not know how much.
You throw the boomerang.
Yes, I throw the boomerang.
As the boomerang spirals through the air, right on your mark, whatever you were aiming for. Maybe you shatter a vase on the far side, and then it thuds on the ground. A moment later, it begins moving on the ground until a few seconds later it's back at your feet. That is the loyal friend. It will always return to you, but not exactly properly.
Boomerang, you always come back. I love it.
It is a +0 boomerang. It's a magical weapon for purposes of damage resistance, but it does not have a bonus to hit. And has a movement speed of 20 feet, always finding its way back to its master.
That's amazing.
So if you throw it 40 feet away, it's gonna take 2 turns to get back.
Yeah.
But it
the boomerang?
always comes
125
back.
gold.
I
So
will get it.
It's the loyal friend +0.
Elle's gonna be a boomerang master by the end of the campaign.
Before we go to Connor, I want to go back to Amanda.
So you're like, huh?
I have 2 things I want to tell you. You want to know 2 more things?
Yes.
As you're kind of looking through all of these potions and spell scrolls and all these interesting little bits of consumables, 2 pieces catch your eye. One, a small pouch. The pouch itself is giving off a small bit of almost like steam until you reach over. It's cold. The pouch itself is filled with these tiny marble-like seeds, pale blue, almost white, like spheres of ice. And the other thing is a wand that you just have this feeling is immensely dangerous to handle directly. A white wand with a spiral of purple all the way up. It smells vaguely of gunpowder. It feels
The gunpowder
dangerous.
wand.
Looking at it feels like you're going to cause a problem.
I would like the gunpowder wand.
These seeds here, you don't have to identify things. All these things have little markers, or Miss Bean will explain.
Yeah.
These are frost seeds.
Okay.
You can drop them into a body of water and it'll create a thin sheet of ice that will expand out and allows you to walk atop the surface of water or other liquids potentially. Generally, you can support like 600 pounds in a single square and it expands outwards.
Okay.
There's 5 of them, but you'd have to buy them all together. And they're 85 gold apiece. And finally, the other thing is called a Wand of Pyrotechnics. It allows you to cast the spell Pyrotechnics 3 times per day.
I see.
It feels very dangerous.
Yes.
How much is the wand for win-win?
It's 2,300 gold pieces.
You want the wand?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like we're gonna need the seeds.
There's I will let you guys know, this is not. These aren't all hints. Some of these things are just weird.
I feel like this party, we're gonna need the seeds at some point. We're gonna find another body of water, and Silas can't swim.
Are any of you handy with a long arm? Like she gestures like she's holding like a 2-handed long weapon.
Our missing friend.
Oh,
So many weapons.
yes, the betusked one.
Yes.
Well, perhaps he would be interested, if you've got the coin, in this. This, how you say, fell off the boat from a merchant ship over in Rhone. This beautiful spear on that wall. You can see the tip of it, gold, made of I'm so sorry, I have to stop for a moment and just call out something in chat. ECAT saying it's the Wand of Boom Doom. And that is now its name. It is the Wand of Boom Doom.
Canon.
The spear itself has a golden, not ostentatious, a simple spearhead. The haft of it, a dark wood, well made, 2 grips to allow you to hold it in 2-handed position, or use it. It's well balanced, clearly. This is the Sure Spear +3.
Oh my gosh.
If you've heard of the tale of Vorpal weapons before, swish swash and all that, well, those are a bit beyond this. But the Sure Spear, I am told, is able to find the heart of those it strikes.
Checking to see if Jake's in chat.
This would be 600,000 gold pieces.
Never mind.
Though I would prefer you would pay in jewels if possible. The weight of platinum is a bit hard to lug around.
We could sell all of our current equipment.
No.
No, you couldn't. I don't know if you can.
I don't think so either. I'll sell Squawk.
I
sell
I
round
heard
more.
+3. I was like, no.
Connor, do you want your silly item first and your fun one last?
Yeah.
Roll for me.
8.
I need you to roll again, actually.
7.
There is a small patch of black fabric, the ends frayed as if it was a patch ripped from a pant leg. Looking at it, however, there is a small design of what looks to be maybe a tiger? It looks familiar, but unfortunately, Thorn, your mind doesn't always work so well at recalling information. But you look at it for a moment, and Miss Bean says, I need you to slap yourself with that. Anywhere on your arm, perhaps. Please.
Wait,
It's not a trap.
You're serious?
Yes.
She had me throw a boomerang like 2 minutes ago.
You place the patch upon your clothing, and you watch as it attaches. You watch as immediately he begins moving around. Like, it's hard to place exactly where he is. You're fine. You don't feel anything. But you do see this vague shimmering around you. This is the Misplacer patch. This patch itself can be attached as an action. It allows you, whoever you slap this on, including yourself, it's blur once per day. It's basically a wand of blur, but a little bit more fun.
Did you like your blur patch?
So 1,700 gold pieces.
I do like it.
That is not attunement. However, in the end, you do notice that she has been tinkering with this strange yellow stone. And as she's kind of looking at it, you feel a strange pang as she's playing with it. She puts it back down, shakes her hand a bit. Oh, please, by all means.
Mage hand.
Mage hand, you grabbing it? As you touch this strange topaz gem, you suddenly hear in your mind, "Eee!" and you get a headache as you're holding this terrible object.
You can have it back.
As you place it down, thank you, Connor. As you place it down, the ringing stops, but the headache takes a minute or so to cure, to calm down. Oh, well, if you want that, I've got a sword that does it too.
Are you gonna eat that?
Sword?
I wouldn't recommend it. Passing a stone is hard enough for men, as far as I'm aware.
He's eaten so many.
He's eaten so many
Big one.
rocks.
You. I've had stranger come through my store, to be honest.
Wait, you have a sword that causes headaches?
I do. I tend to carry things of all sorts, and unfortunately, this weapon would be quite useful if it didn't give terrible migraines and get heavier, I suppose, as you
Listen.
hold it.
You have to eat the rock first, and then the sword won't cause headaches.
Taking a few steps over, she actually procures this long, like dark wood case, places it on the table. Takes her a little bit of doing. For a moment, as she's kind of lifting this, you see her silken gloves flash, and she's wearing metal gloves, and then they flash back, like an illusion shattering for a moment. She places it on the table and opens it up. You see this finely crafted longsword, a bit angular, not quite as much. There's not much filigree. It's almost dwarven, not quite. It's dwarven in the brutishness of the design, though it is well crafted. The hilt itself looks to be carved out of stone rather than forged from metal, and a large emerald is embedded deep within the stone. Those of you who are standing in the room while the case is open have a headache.
I will.
All of you just start rubbing your temples.
Seeing the emerald,
Moss.
I'll reach out, using my telepathic connection from my
The
subclass.
blade is so light as you lift it into your hand. You feel so whole holding this. This is right. As you kind of take this blade up in your hand, you feel the balance of it is so good. It's so clean. It's so. There's probably more.
Trying to convey to Miss Bean like I have a headache
The headache's
while holding it.
gone.
No, I'm trying to act like I have a headache.
Oh, make a deception check here. The rest of the party, your headaches go away.
Oh, thank God.
The ringing stops as it is joined.
26.
26. Hey man, you kind of pulling this off. She's like, oh, you must be a little bit sensitive to the effects. Don't worry, we'll put it back.
No, I like the sword. Maybe I can get used to it, but
You would.
I would be happy to take it off your hands.
Well, I won't know so much about taking, but I certainly would be willing to offer a bit of a discount for. Curses. Let's call it bedeviled weapon.
Definitely. It feels that way.
Well, the shattering edge is still has quite a keen edge. This is no sharpening. It hasn't been used in quite some time, though. It's held its edge for some years now. This weapon I've had in my collection for about a decade at this point. It's my understanding that the material you're holding is Cragheart, is the stone itself. Though the gem, I believe, is much like what I showed you before, one of those bleeding stars. Mechanically, would you like to know what this? If you end up procuring this weapon, it's 24,000 gold pieces.
I would like to throw in 7,000 of my own gold
We can
to
afford
buy
it.
it.
It is 17,000 from the party loot.
All right.
This sword, well attuned, is a +2 weapon. You have advantage on attacks versus elementals. And once per long rest, you may cast the spell Destructive Wave. Though all of the damage becomes thunder damage.
Fine with that.
This bleeding emerald calls out to you. If you choose to make this, are we locking in that you are getting this sword?
Yeah,
I would like to get it if that's okay.
that's fine.
Can I borrow?
Plenty the party loot.
Can I get an IOU for 17,000 gold?
Sure.
haven't touched the party
You can put a
loot.
you can make a mark that's like, hey, I got a big thing.
I'll pay you back.
I'm gonna tell you now. Even with that, we haven't touched the party loot.
Reminder: 600 gold for the elven chain. If you guys are getting that.
We should get the Elven chain.
Here's the thing.
Plus one AC is big for wizards.
As you're here, you're purchasing this is a little bit. We're cutting ahead a little bit. You guys have purchased your scrolls and your magic items, your wands. You're playing with these new
I have new
toys,
boots on.
distracting your.
seeds.
Yes.
All so
85 times 5.
Okay.
You don't have to do all the math right now. We don't need to worry about it at this exact moment because you're not buying things the rest of the session.
Everything else on the sheet.
Your party, you take a moment aside. This new weapon as you're kind of attuning, understanding it.
Right.
Hello? I feel you. Can you hear me?
I'll use my telepathic speech to respond. Hello?
You can hear me from so far. We could help each other. Yes?
I think you've already been helping me.
Perhaps. Many need help in these days. Do you wish to help others?
Yes, I think that's my purpose.
There are many duties to fulfill. I would love to join you. But I'm so tired and faint. I feel cast upon a wide berth. It is a pitiable thing to be able to only whisper so far. Will you help me, please?
Yes.
Oh, I feel this warmth in all of my facets. Find more. Let me speak more.
The voice fades. Victorious.
My brother.
My brother in 9.
What is up with you with these fucked up swords?
The sword itself, I will say this:
Two for
the
two.
bleeding emerald in this is by far the largest. It is actually this large.
Wow.
The gem itself, if it was a normal emerald, would be worth more than 5,000 gold pieces as a raw, non-magical emerald. It is absurdly large, but it appears that it is bonded with you in some strange way. You feel the presence is there, and I'll just kind of explain a little bit more. It feels like it's wavering, tired. You could probably push a little bit more out of this, but it looks like that brief conversation took most of its energy out of it. So if you feel the need to talk, you still can, but it's silent for now.
Okay.
Just tell your sword bedtime stories.
Thorn seems a little more pale than usual.
We paid for it.
You're like a lilac instead of like a deep purple.
Yeah, I'm the color of that bag right there. The normal color.
Can you add 5 potions of healing? So 50.
250.
Under 50. Okay.
Do we have enough?
Oh yeah.
Oh, hilariously, yes.
We still have 40,000 gold left.
I have new boots.
Also,
Can you
I will let you
wash?
guys know, because we're going to be rolling past this, if you guys would like to have later retroactively picked up a couple of potions and scrolls, when you two are talking about stuff during the break, we can go ahead and apply those costs after the fact. We're totally fine.
How does the blur patch thing work?
Normally blur is a self spell. It's an action, and it casts on whoever you're using it. There is no concentration.
Okay.
Kind of as a final thing, Miss Bean, you've seen all sorts of magical artifacts, right?
I have.
Have any guidance on repairing this? And I will show her the hilt of Martyr's Lament. It's not quite up to.
Oh, mixed voices now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
You can hear it too.
let's see here. Ah, yes, good. No, well, let's see here. Uh-huh. All right.
I know it's not reaching its full potential.
No. Wow. This is old. It's not often you get to see somebody. She got a little jewel. This is supposed to be a jeweler's loop, sorry. She's kind of looking at this. Well, this is quite old, but unfortunately, I won't be able to fix it with my magic. And most of my normal team works more in the arcane realm than the divine. Are you a follower of, it looks to be the Morning Lord?
I'm not.
Well, whatever this sword is, she looks at it. Could you ignite this for me? She pushes it on the table.
I use an action to.
The radiant blade is there. It doesn't ever harm on accident.
Yeah.
So like she can actually touch gently where the sword itself is.
It's really good at undead.
Well, I would certainly recommend
Reading it.
keeping this in a place devoted to its deity in order to prevent any further degradation of the weapon. Though I could imagine this degradation, looking at it, you've got months before this will cause any major damage to the weapon. Though in the right hands, if you had someone sworn to that deity, I'm sure you could find... these sort of weapons have a life to their own. Not a mind, but there's a soul to them. Typically, they're bound down ambient energies of the Celestials. This one here has seen better days. I shudder to think what sort of weapon damaged it this way.
It's a shame. I'm no holy paladin. And even if I was, I don't think Lathander would be the steps I follow in, but I appreciate it.
I'm sorry I couldn't do more. She kind of feels a little bit guilty, but there's not much she can do on it itself.
I have perhaps other
Ooh.
plans.
She picks up a small, thin fabric of fragment. Whew! Fragment of the metal. I'm so sorry. It's like a piece. It's almost hair thin. This needle-like piece of it. I'm so sorry, but another piece of your weapon. I'll fetch you a silk pouch for it.
Yeah, this gives me an idea, actually. Thank you.
She looks at you with a bit of confusion as you kind of step off.
We could just make a shrine.
Is Meanie?
Uh-oh.
As the shopping session continues, Miss Bean looks like she's trying at one point, kind of gestures over to you.
We have no reason to distrust Miss Bean at this point.
At this point.
I'm suspicious of everybody.
I don't. She kind of stepping away. She goes ahead and she kicks one of the shelves here, which begins singing a little chorus. It's like little kids' voices singing a song, and every like third line is super creepy and evil. It's like, It's singing this little song about jumping jacks and going for a run, and then don't forget to find the bones. It's very strange and off-putting as it's playing this little song.
I love
Cover
it.
up the voice. Yeah, I know. It's exactly down your.
My aesthetic.
I don't mean to be terribly negative. Walk with me on. Walk with me just outside, if you don't mind.
Okay.
She opens the door for you, and you feel a rush of wind as she steps out. The fine grass leads about 15 before it hits a sheer drop. You see clouds all around you, dotting at eye level. You see, kind of angling down below as she kind of steps out further, thousands of feet worth of drop. A fine city far off in the distance, a few miles away.
Maybe now I should be concerned about Miss Bean.
You find yourself standing atop a floating island with a small cottage here. You can see, turning and looking at the house, above the house is a floating disc with arcane runes on it that slowly spirals. Occasionally, an arc of lightning charging between it and a nearby rock and continues the momentum, keeping this island aloft. Looking down, you see the capital of your homeland, the capital of Issel, known as the Runehold. You stand here, kind of looking for a moment at the fine castle in the center of the city, Verita Citadel. Miss Bean just comes and looks. Your companion, or ward, whatever it is you prefer to call her, has she been healthy in your travels?
She gets injured a lot.
Unfortunately, that has been common with her line.
Mostly that I can tell hale and hearty, running 5Ks in the morning. Though
It's good.
I have concerns.
I was there when her mother's had her. And I always have had some worries about the machine, that device. If you could keep an eye on her, her mothers are close friends from a long time ago, and it would mean a lot just to know that there's a set of eyes keeping out for her.
Yeah, it's completely new territory. And the fact that nobody swooped in to stop anything that's happened in the last few months is also surprising to me.
Unfortunately, most of, the Guardians are off in Gorbarim. There's a skirmish happening there. There's technically is a great nephew of the king of the dwarves there. She kind of starts explaining this whole thing. He's discovered this old tome from one of his ancestors, filled him with magical power, and she kind of starts talking about what's going on there. I don't know if your friend needs to know this, but it would be, just in case. Delilah is in Gorbarim. Now, Cesis is still staying back home and tending to her barony, but Delilah's participating in the conflict.
Delilah is a 60-year-old human woman.
Yes, but well,
Does she-
you've tried to take. I'm sure you've tried to stop your friend here, Elilie. Well, good luck doing that when she's considerably stronger.
That's actually kind of terrifying, and you're correct.
All I mean to say is, if they're not swooping in, unfortunately, it's because her mothers are doing what they do best. Protecting their friends, protecting the innocent, and protecting their home. You're what she's got.
Yeah, I don't know the longevity of prior, I hate to use the word, but experimentations. I don't know how long other subjects lasted.
There are a few more hybrids. dilly-dallying around. There's a turtle man in Eltz.
Okay.
Rerum, Redetum. It'll come to me. I'll procure you ascending. I would like to say he's affiliated with the academy there. They have a school,
Okay.
but check in with him. He's quite a bit older than Lilier, and he was made using the same method as her, so
Okay.
could be something worth looking into.
Because I don't know some days what to expect.
Well, whatever magics created her, they've got her this far.
Right. You're right.
You're a good woman, just
try.
like your mother. Come on, then. Don't let the existential threat of the human lifespan get you down.
Okay.
And the little
Why not?
gnome waddles back into her home.
So weird being short-lived. Amongst everybody else around me being long-lived.
Except for me.
Miss Bean, I have an odd request.
Oh, hello, Gwynwyn.
Just like, yeah.
Do you have a book on Sylvian? Or for our dear Silas, the tongue of the Feywild?
Oh, certainly. That wouldn't be terribly difficult. Now, I will say, perhaps, if expediency was important and the weight of your coin purse was not, I have another solution to that.
Oh?
There is an ointment that would allow the passage of knowledge, if there was urgency behind it. A bit more expensive, but I think it's a bit more fun when you can include a bit of magic in life. As she says this, there's like small sparkles come out of her fingers, ever so briefly. This woman knows how to sell.
Would Silas want to jump cut?
It took him 60 years to learn Dwarfish, living in my house.
You did
Yeah, but like,
also
he's,
try.
like
We
don't need to know.
Oh, this is
Sylvan
for
tomorrow.
Silas.
This is for Silas.
He was such a kind fellow when we last met. And my boy is still, seeing if he can put the moves on that Perkins lady. So let's... I have just the thing. Does Silas already own an etching stone?
No.
He'll need one. And she's gonna head off. As the party completes the rest of their purchases, is everything else gonna be fine here?
Yeah.
As you're ready to make your return trip, a couple of things. First, she brings a cone-shaped object, not a tusk. It is a cone of stone, and on it is etched all manner of text. If you don't speak Sylvan, hard to tell what this is. This stone is your book to learn the language. Sylvan is not a language built with an intense vocabulary. There aren't thousands of words. There are, instead, shapes and feelings. Jake just got us in the chat.
I heard
But
Alex
looking at
laugh.
this, are all of the different, there are aspects of elements, basic ideas, but other than that, all of this you have to learn the whole language all at once. You can't know Sylvan, but except for this word. You can only know the whole language. And she brings out one stone. She brings out a second one and a small stone to carve on it. They're not tusks themselves, but these spires do evoke that similar imagery. Each one weighs about 15 pounds. But she advises you to give them to Silas when you have a moment. Oh, and where should I be dropping you off? I can return you back to the portal you came from.
Should we go back home?
Do you want to go to the castle?
What
The
castle?
castle?
The castle.
The castle.
No, I'm not gonna.
We left the princess at our house.
She's a princess. How? What princess?
I thought it's me
I'm sorry.
going to be the first one.
There's a princess? Do I need to put tea on?
Just send us
How
back.
do you woo a princess?
It has been some time since I have participated in such acts, but back when I was the
How much is
finest.
the stone
Which stone?
for learning of languages?
Silas.
Oh, it would be 65 gold pieces if you want to use it the non-magic way with the etching stones.
Yeah.
It would be how they would teach children as well as outsiders. However, they normally would be larger.
Just send us back to my smelly room.
Oh, Well, if you ever want to hear about the best hills in Darendal and how they found their way into royal bedchambers, go on back sometime.
Does this still work?
Best hills?
What are you holding?
I don't know
The
what she
flip?
means by that. I'm scared to ask.
Oh, I'm so sorry. No, she's gonna take this from you. This is, this is little more than a cracker. She bites into it. The magic's already been dispelled. There's not much to do with it.
If we need to talk, is this sort of like a "you'll find us" thing?
Well, occasionally I'm down in Eltz, but generally speaking, I ask my clients to provide their own method of teleportation.
Are you available via sending?
I will certainly hear. I can have one of my people contact some of your people.
Our people reach your people? Okay, we got it.
I'm glad
We
you
got
understand. You're a very wise man, Mr. Thorne.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Perhaps you should consider getting your own etching stones of knowledge. A little gentle ribbing here, and anything else you're doing while you're here.
No.
Did someone say they want to drop off into the castle?
I said that but no one. I don't think anyone picked up on it other than.
I heard you say that. What do you mean
We'll just
by
go
that?
back
Castle bit north of the barrows, the keep that the captain's in.
Or the captain.
That we think
You want
Bugarda's-
to?
I'm gonna roll just real quickly. I'm going to roll a history check. I'm gonna call this. Speed has an intelligence modifier of +4. She's
Where
proficient.
would
in
leave
history.
Jam there?
Jam is a princess doing
I did
her own
also
night.
say just drop us off in my smelly room.
I think I should have a map somewhere. A keep in the West End. She begins pulling out some maps of Eltz and looking things through. I have. Oh, yes. You are trying to get into Smythe's Keep, the Bamberg Keep in the West End.
Yes.
Yes.
I should be able to bring you there. Do you have permission?
No.
No. Do
Wait, do you have any? Do you have somebody? Wait,
you have a copy of that?
Of the layout of the castle?
Yeah.
Just a moment.
I have a
Heather!
few Jasper gems I could trade for it.
You see flying through the air is a small quill, which hits a piece of parchment nearby and begins drawing a copy of the map. Heather the Feather begins her work. This is a... Cole, I believe you're familiar with this magical item, aren't you? This is a cartographer's quill.
I love this magical item. It's one of my favorites.
Huh? Yeah, I think you both shared that item for quite a while, right?
I got a gift of an item from Jasmine.
So how much of the does it say how much it is on the Jasper?
No.
If it doesn't, that's okay. We'll take the trade.
We still have 36,000.
I was going to charge you 150 gold pieces, but I'll take your Jasper.
Yep. There's 5 of them.
Blue Jasper I have in my moderate category, so that would work. Always a pleasure doing business with you. More importantly, it's always a pleasure getting more gems in my pocket. She drops it once more. There's no jingle as she drops it into a pocket.
We still have so much gold in the party loot.
We have a map.
There's something we should have asked for, and I'm just realizing it now.
If it's a spell slot or a spell scroll or a potion, we said we'll deal with it after the fact.
Something we would want now,
Okay.
but I can't remember the name of the spell.
If you tell me a little bit more words, I can help you with that.
The spell that gives you the experience of a long rest.
Cat's nap.
Cat nap.
Oh, that was a short rest.
Short.
Maybe a short rest.
It's I believe it's 10 minutes for a. Go ahead and pull up cat nap.
I think catnap Xanathar's.
Yeah, I don't think it's in
Is
here.
it Xanathar's?
I think Xanathar.
I just went. We could all use a long rest.
Tosh just hadn't come out yet whenever Vander was casting it.
Xanathar's level 3 casting time. 1.
Yeah, it's a short rest.
It gives you a short rest in 10 minutes.
A short rest in either 20. I think it's short rest in 20 minutes.
10 minutes, 1 action, 4th level spell slot for 4 people.
For a short rest.
I can cast that.
Short rest.
Do you need somewhere to stay the night?
Never mind.
No, we might lose a lot of friends if we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, she could give you a scroll of catnap. You guys could cast it. If you guys want her to, you'll have to pay for it.
I
What level spell is it? 3rd?
third, fourth floor, 4 people.
It would be 500. You need a 4th level version of it.
Yeah.
That's not an option here. She
If
does
it's
not
there-
have.
I
that.
don't get anything from short resting.
No, I don't think we can do it. I remember.
It would be 500 gold pieces for a scroll of catnap.
I can cast it on 3 people. I can do it that way.
I misremembered how the spell worked.
I'm not missing
So-
anything that I would gain too much from a short rest.
I'm
Yeah, me neither.
likewise.
We're good.
You would just get a bunch of sorcery points by spell conversion.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Coffee luck, let's go. Okay.
Yeah, and I already did my arcane recovery, so I don't get anything.
Okay. So I have to ask. Oh dear.
We're gonna go take the castle.
I think the intent of Jam trying to get us away was for us not to come back to where we were.
Yeah.
But
I say we
Yeah,
can take
I
the
think
Well,
castle.
I can also drop you off. She can drop you off elsewhere within Eltz, but once she's dropped you off, you're not coming back here for a while.
Right. We should go straight to the
We should go. We have a way to get straight to the castle instead of
going
dealing with all the guards
where
on
we
the
think
outside.
Bugarda is.
Yes,
Okay. Cool. Yes.
So castle.
Let's go.
castle. Not. We can take out the captain who has a writ on us.
Okay. Did I get time to attune and
Yes, you guys have been here for about an hour and a half.
sweet? So Ruby the War Mage is on the new sword. Got it.
Which means it's a spellcasting focus.
Yeah, and +2 for attacking.
Yeah, it's a +2 weapon.
Okay.
Yes. Big reason is because normally people can't attune to it.
because of the headaches.
Yes. It's basically a cursed item.
I'm too stupid for headaches.
It's fine. Is he too dumb to get a headache?
I mean, let's put it a different way. If there was a high, if you had a headache all the time, low int, so you're just not really thinking about it, or maybe you just go crazy.
You're just losing gray matter. It's fine.
You know, that's fine.
Just smooth that brain.
Well
out.
then,
Nice and wrinkle free.
I suppose it's time for you to. Oh my goodness. She looks at her a little sundial on her wrist. I actually need you all to leave.
Okay.
No problem.
Oh,
It has been delightful to see you, but I am. She activates the glamour weave on her clothing. You see she's wearing this little red satin dress. I'm busy, so I will need you all to go now. It has been delightful. You said you'd like to go to Bamberg Keep.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. She heads over to the door and begins drawing a series of runic sigils with her finger, a red painted nail drawing along the surface. Well, best of luck, and I hope you have an excellent day. Thank you again for shopping with me.
Adios.
She opens this door and you see a changing room. There's no one present, but you see what looks to be like 3 vanities in a row, large mirrors on the wall. Assuming you're passing through.
I'm gonna attempt to be sneaky.
Group stealth check
Let's
as you
stealth.
step out into this long room. Closing the door behind you. The party loves seeing that. The party, as you close the door behind you, you see
I tripped.
the room itself has 3 of these vanities on it. The vanities have small sconces with candles on them. The room is still lit, although it looks like only about half of the candles have been put up. There is a statue of a human man with his palm outstretched, gazing into it. The statue is made of stone. The flooring itself is finely polished wood, and the ceiling itself is a little bit higher than you'd normally expect for a room like this. There are racks containing clothing, and the room itself also has all over the counters have little glass vials, small wooden containers with powders in them. It looks like a room where people would perhaps do makeup, clean their face. Maybe it's part of a bathhouse. Hard to know for certain without some dice rolls or player stuff. There are a couple of exits to this room from where you are. It looks like there's a door behind you, a door in front of you, and a small door on the opposite wall from the vanities.
Do you want to know our stealth rolls?
I would love to know your stealth rolls.
Do you want to go first, Connor?
Connor?
I got a 6.
Is that a natural 1 for you?
No.
It's not. Okay, great,
It's a
great.
5.
6.
8.
8. You don't have Rowlnor. Or do you have Rowlnor?
I didn't say that I was
No.
bringing him with
Would you have brought Rowlnor with you?
Yeah, because I wouldn't want him to die just
Okay.
by being executed.
Ah, I
Oh.
behaved.
No, he doesn't talk.
Ralnor also failed his
That,
spell.
oh no! If I talk with that voice, that's just Stitch, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Is Ralnor not Stitch?
Ohana means
No.
Copyright.
Ralnor rolled a 10 and I rolled a 16. Ralnor's got a +5 to stealth.
I got a natural 20 for 24.
All right, relax. Go off. Go off.
All right. I'll put it down.
All right.
Guys.
As you kind of step
want
in,
to
the
see.
floors aren't particularly creaky. You take a moment to avoid stumbling over what looks to be one of like a coat rack that has kind of been knocked over, not like bumping that.
I fart as I walk through.
It was the floor, guys. It was the floor. But you
Wait a minute.
heading in, it's relatively quiet in here. You guys are able to take some time. You no longer hear the sounds of Miss Bean humming behind the door. It appears that whatever magic allowed her to let you pass through this door have since faded. What are you all doing in this strange place? There's very little castle-like about where you are. There are no windows to this room.
Map. We have a map.
Can we pinpoint where we are on the map?
I need an investigation check. Unfurling this map.
Oh, I
Take
could spend a spell slot.
4.
Mage armor, I never cast it.
Pausing time. Did you spend gold to get the Elven chain?
No.
It's +1 mage armor.
It was like 6,000 gold. Not
600 gold pieces.
Oh, okay, I thought it was
gold.
I thought it was
Buy
like 6,000 gold
Buy
Please
pieces.
get it.
600 gold pieces.
Even if it was 6,000, we would
Take
have
it.
bought it for you.
Okay, okay. If
more
it's
AC.
Your AC
If
is
it's
16, assuming you have nothing other than armor that gives you AC.
But I can't cast mage armor anymore.
It wouldn't do anything. You
Right.
don't cast mage armor.
So you have
Right.
a free spell
So
slot.
I have a free spell slot now. So that's
Feather
6.
ball or shield.
I thought it was like 6,000 gold. I'm like, I'm not
Anything better
spending
than mage
6,000 gold. So it was 600.
Yeah, 600 gold, and I need an investigation check from all.
23.
23.
8.
Good job, man.
I know which
Looking
way.
around,
One.
looking around,
That's high
you can
for me.
see where you are is actually looks to be in the northeastern portion. It looks like there is an auditorium, a massive auditorium. You can see, kind of looking around the map. It looks like you're in like you're in the backstage of what looks to have been. There's a stage set up. The next room probably has lots of seating and a considerable amount of these. There's markings on the map itself that appear to indicate that the room itself, it's like a circle that has been divided into 3 sections that show different configurations for the room. One of them shows what looks to be a circle, like a pool in the center of the room. Another shows these arched seating that kind of surround a stage, and another one is straight line, very boring and orderly. Here, it looks like it's an auditorium that can be used for different purposes.
Doesn't seem like
But
keep.
looking further past there, you can tell that the far door here would lead to a set of hallways. It looks like because the room itself, these are basic plans. They're not. What is the name of every single room? Where mark the treasure chests? This you can see though. Looking around here, it looks like a section of longer rooms surrounding there is a section that's labeled as a kitchen and a larder and a mess hall. So it looks like barracks, a mess hall on this lower level. You can locate where the staircase is, which would require you getting a little bit just past where the mess hall is. You see on the second level, there look to be larger rooms that actually. So there's leading up. There is a second floor. The second floor looks to have on the auditorium. You can see that there is actually a series of these rafters that have been set up in the auditorium itself, so that allow for possibly maybe lighting or other sort of things to be done during during shows and presentations. Auditorium itself, 200 feet at its narrowest point, and it's roughly a square. Continuing to look a bit further here, you can see that it looks like the second floor also has its own dining hall. But you do notice a connecting line between the 2 portions of the map. It looks like there's some sort of connection between the kitchen upstairs and downstairs. Looking forward, you're able to tell one more thing about the castle with that roll that I want to make clear. There are, in addition to the big auditorium, which probably has a big parapet on top, there are 2 towers. One of which is marked Crow's Nest, The other of which you can see has some sort of like bed chambers in it. There are 2 towers, the auditorium, and then a main section which has barracks and mess halls and more bed chambers. It's a small keep. It's not a huge castle.
If I was a mob boss, I would be hiding
Second tower
in the
with the
second
bed.
tower.
Not with the other.
Highest room in the tallest tower.
I mean, if Zarathal told us anything, it's that if you keep going up,
You'll find
something deadly at the top. Do you agree, Miss Mimi?
Yeah, because it seems like every person we fight is dumb and decides going up is a better move than going down.
So
This is your basement thing, right?
Yeah.
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 This is the basement
Did
thing
we
again.
leave that guy in the basement?
We did.
Is this an? Do they have plays in here? What is this room?
Well, if you're theatrical,
I would, if this is supposed to be either a castle or a barracks, I would assume it's for entertainment of guard or some such.
large announcements, perhaps.
The floors
has
are
3
a
different
bit
setups.
sticky.
And so
I think we should try to get to that second tower.
I think we should sneak and try to get to the second tower.
Here's the question: is how do we get to the tower without going down and then back up?
We all jump really tall and just hope that we can fly.
So who can?
Move your arms fast
Does
enough,
anyone else?
right?
Can anyone do some sort of teleportation?
I can move one person,
I have the ability to move one person along with me.
and Ralnor can climb.
So 2 people.
So we get to the top and we jump.
But I can't. I
Well,
can't get somebody to the top. I can get you
we-
up 60 feet
There's
max.
4 of us, so there would be.
Thunderstep. No.
Ah.
Dimension door.
You don't count Ralnor.
Oh.
I can dimension door.
I'm saying, can't you dimension door?
And if you didn't prepare it, remember that how your book works.
I did prepare dimension door.
I
forgot.
I planned for this.
You were like,
Okay,
I can
so
only go like 30 feet.
We would just tell Ralnor to catch up. Is that the
I think we
plan?
should take whatever secret passageway.
Ralnor
there
is
is top.
eating a fancy dress.
Or
Wait,
can-
so are we on the bottom floor? Or are we up
Okay,
top?
you're on the first floor.
Okay.
You're in the auditorium. You're basically catty corner to the tower. The particular tower you're referring to.
Gotcha.
Can we see the top of the tower?
There are no windows in this room. You've not left
Okay.
the first room.
So we have to get to somewhere with a window.
You've got a map and you're whispering amongst yourselves.
Are there any open doors? Is there a keyhole I can look through? Sorry.
There's like
Is there a keyhole? Is a fun question.
Okay, I can go 90 feet for free.
90? Oh, but big boom?
But big boom.
Okay.
I want a big boom.
There is a small keyhole that leads towards the auditorium. If you want to give me a perception check there. That was a very clever question, Connor.
Perception 14.
14. Gazing into the auditorium itself. Even though you have dark vision, normally I wouldn't be able to give you much information, but with your dark vision, I can show you a fair bit of the room. You see that it looks like right now the room is in that circular configuration. You see what looks to be a few wooden platforms just rocking ever so slightly on top of this huge pool of water. The chairs on the outside are all surrounding this. There's a small wooden stage close to you. If you open this door, you'll be on the main stage from where you are.
Well, do I see where the other entrance would be to go up?
How far is your dark vision? Because the room itself is not lit.
Let me double check.
I think it's on your first page, and I want to say it's 30 or 60.
We could just sacrifice my bird to the cause.
60 feet,
Hey, Papa.
120 feet with Devil's Sight, but it doesn't apply to Dark Vision.
I feel like Devil's...
Devil's Sight just gives you magical Dark Vision for. I think it's just applies to
Put
magical
a
effects.
pin in that to remember. We'll check later to see if that actually just extends your dark vision. We'll
Okay.
see on that. But looking through, kind of looking out here, that is not enough to see the main entrance to the auditorium.
Okay.
There is no one, as far as you can tell, inside it. And with that 14 perception, you don't hear anything pressing. You do hear, it sounds like maybe off in the far distance, humans exist somewhere in the keep. You guys are basically the auditorium has been like glued to the outside of an otherwise normal castle.
The west End, who would have been the High Lord here?
There isn't a High Lord that lives in Bamberg Keep. There's a knight.
Just the knight we left behind? No, not that knight. What knight?
Nope. The knight who lived here, you actually were told a little bit ago. The knight who lives there is Sir Smythe Bamberg. It's his castle. If you'd like more information, I would ask for a history check that would represent what you guys have learned in your time here in Eltz.
Bandberg.
B-A-M, Berg.
Yeah.
Kola's running here saying, I want to roll a history check.
Yeah, I
It
only
is-
made rolled a 10. Yeah, I only rolled a 10. I
Just
don't
for-
remember that.
Just for the stream, it is darkness, both magical and non-magical.
Yeah, so you have 120 feet. Not enough to see it. I will say this, with a 14, something's odd about the water.
Okay.
It looks weird. And you notice the platforms themselves look to only be wood on the top. Looks like there's a different material on the bottom.
I
Weird.
rolled a single digit on the die, which is a 17.
23.
23?
Yes.
Bamberg Keep is a small keep that is here in the West End from a long time ago. This is an old family, the Bambergs. Well, not High Lords. The Bambergs were of quite high standing. And in recent years, the knight has offered the services of his castle to the Eltzian Guard, allowing the captain of the West End to use it as a staging ground for his soldiers. So there's two people of import who live here. Captain Sten Placket and Sir Smythe Bamberg. So you got a knight who lives here, a guard who lives here, and presumably a bunch of soldiers who live in the barracks.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep thinking I said soldiers here. That's actually incorrect. These are guards who live here.
So this is not where
This is-
soldiers are. This is where
Correct.
guards
All
are.
of the guards you've met in the West End report to here. Now they don't physically come here. The lieutenants and the lower ranking people, corporals, will reach out here. Sergeants, yes.
Going to the master.
Quietly
Maybe
try
just
the
figure out
door.
where we are.
See if it's unlocked. Okay. It's open.
I won't cast knock.
As you you look back to your friends, you because of the way the statue is standing, it's almost like he stares into your eyes as you step out into the darkness. The statue of the human man here. You pass out into the darkness itself. The room is very quiet, save for the occasional sloshing of the liquid in the center of the room.
Moving out a little bit, looking for that entrance to.
Yeah, you only have to go
secret
about
entrance.
30 to 50 feet into the room, walking past these chairs before you can see the massive double doors that lead out into, you would know, the main hallway that would lead around the central square that makes up the building itself. Ismini, would you like to use? Would you like to use your new
I
goggles?
would like to use my new goggles.
What kind of jewelry had you set it previously? What's your default here?
It's just like a little crescent moon.
Little crescent moon. Goggles.
Goggle Club.
Yeah.
I'll take lab safety very seriously.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine both of them getting in the alchemist lab over there?
Bad idea.
Dangerous.
Bad idea.
Blow over how safe
What
the
if
library
we
has
took
been.
this potion and I put a demon in it?
Just imagining these
We made it into a
magnified
bomb.
goggles, so their eyes are like this big.
Pyrotechnic
We're
swan.
gonna invent the Nerf gun.
Demons.
Demon.
All right.
Is that
Like a magical Nerf gun.
an amazing feat?
Yes.
Indeed.
Dude, absolutely. Nerf guns are great.
They're
But you guys-
great, but like, is it really that?
Got a Nerf.
amazing?
As you proceed through,
It's
with,
momentous.
with just your passive perceptions, once you get about 50, 30, 20 feet away from that door, you can start hearing there are just people in the castle. Like, well, once you pass this door, you'll be in the castle proper. It looks like the auditorium is used for events and not actually used day to day
I don't-
necessarily.
I think we can sneak past.
Who can cast the Sky Self?
I can cast invisibility.
Can you cast the Sky Self?
Ah.
Yeah.
I cannot cast Alter Self today. I did not prepare.
I
for
have
this
one potion
I
of
also-
Alter Self, and
I
I can
have
cast the Sky Self.
Many ways of being.
I did not
convincing.
prepare disguise self either.
Does alter self? It modifies your body, but not your clothes, I believe.
I also did not prepare invisibility.
Because alter self, I want to say is
Change appearance.
transmutation.
Gain one magical.
Right. I want to say alter self is transmutation, not illusion.
Yeah, it's a transmutation.
Right. You're shifting your body into someone else's body.
Right. No, I know.
There's clothing.
You
There,
assume
there
a
are
different-
costumes in the previous room, but not.
You assume a different form.
Yeah, you
I
could
have-
become a orc.
I have minor illusion. We can use as a distraction. It doesn't make a noise, but it makes a visual thing. I have suggestion, and I have calm emotions.
Can we access the kitchen from where we are?
Looking at this map, it is possible if you went up to the rafters, there looks to be there is another exit here. If you climbed up to the next level, there is a ladder you guys did not hit with your passive perception that will lead up to the rafters.
There we go. Alternate route.
That'll bring you directly to the second level.
Let's go. Up the ladder. Right?
Sure.
Easier than sneaking past a bunch of people.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go up first.
Okay.
Sneaky.
Heading up first as you begin walking the rafters themselves. When I'm describing these as rafters, and I think I mean this pretty accurately here today, that you have these wide wooden beams a few feet across. You do still get this strange unease trying to walk along the surface. It is durable. They must have had massive trees for these. But as you're kind of walking across, heading towards the essentially like a maintenance door that is up here for any sort of repairs. Gwynwyn,
No.
make me a dexterity saving throw. You're walking, and unfortunately, your foot finds that the ground is not as flat as you'd like it to be.
Nat 1, because I have disadvantage.
One more.
Roll one more die. We always do it where you roll one additional die.
7.
7 total.
Not one.
No, not 1.
You watch as Gwynwyn falls.
I cast Featherfall.
Thank God I didn't.
Gwynwyn,
prepare
you
today.
glide down about 35 feet. The auditorium is massive. Dook, and land on the bottom and are able to walk back up. Going a little bit slower here, you guys are able to see where she fell. There are several series of these divots on the wood, like carved out scoops of the wood, and you watch as they had gotten where you guys were coming from towards that ladder. They were very small divots, but they got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And as you continue heading up, Gwynwyn approaching again, walking extra slow this time.
I'm like crawling now this time so I don't fall.
You see that close to the maintenance shaft, you actually see that the divots here have actually cut deep into the wood. It looks like something has carved or burned or scored the wood here.
Are they intended for like people to like lay in? Like
Is anyone using any form of light, or are we all just relying on dark vision
No,
here?
I'm looking around I'm looking up, seeing if there's anything.
Give me. Here's the thing. Those of you looking down at this, give me an investigation check with disadvantage about the holes. Give me an investigation check flat for looking up, Connor. I guess perception check, actually, Connor. For what you're doing.
14.
Success.
7.
Wasted nat 20, so instead I got an 8.
a natural 1 for a 4.
Looking through here, it's
Where's
really
the
hard to tell.
smart part?
They're not perfect. These holes look to be mostly circular and ovoid in shape, but they're not. They aren't perfect. It looks like imperfections in the wood that have changed them. And as you're kind of looking low, it's a natural 1. I'm gonna be very mean with your natural 1.
Fair.
Would you, since you're not using dark vision, it's black and white. Are you touching the holes? Is my question.
I guess, yeah, I probably would.
You'll take 1 point of acid damage as a small remnant of something inside of here burns the tip of your finger ever so slightly.
Acid.
Looking up, there is a damaged window. Not enough such that it is revealing light, but there is a small closed set of shutters. And as you kind of look further with your devil sight, you can see along the top here, it looks like there are places where the roof can be opened up to let light in.
Am I right now? Now that you've seen that?
The windows themselves would be roughly like 10 feet by 10 feet and are closed. This is on the parapet. This is underneath the parapet, so it would be flat above you.
So the divots you described, one of them looks scorched.
They look like they're scored into the wood. They're all on top on top of the wood, not on the sides, as far as you've seen.
A spray from above.
Any movement?
Nope. Nothing from those passives, nothing from the 14.
I'll keep moving.
You pass by underneath the window, which is close to the maintenance door.
Watching
and
that open window.
as you keep walking, no more of the divots. You make it to the maintenance door. The maintenance door itself, you would actually know, is attached to a small hallway on the second level, not too far from the bed chambers. And if you're lucky, not terribly. You won't see too many people between here and the tower you're trying to get to.
I'm worried about that window.
I'm not, because we got past it. Let's go into this room.
Let's not invite trouble.
Kind of my thing.
Reasonable.
Okay.
Moving forward.
Yeah.
Brightness, light, a slight bit of air as you kind of open up. You see a small but very well made hallway. Gray and blue stones having been placed into whatever material was used to originally create the wall here. It almost reminds you a bit, those of you who've ever been inside of a castle wall, of how it's stone walls, well made, even pieces of furniture, but open windows, no shutters, nothing, that look down. You can see off to one side there is bright light, and then those of you who are a little bit taller can see, looks like a grassy courtyard just outside. Pick her up, please. Hello.
She doesn't want to be picked up.
Hello, I am Coco.
Hello, Coco.
She is baby.
But you see, as you're looking here, you are on the easternmost edge of the castle itself. The castle you were talking about getting to, the castle where you believe these other bed chambers are, the not crow's nest, is actually going to be south of you and just a little bit to the west. So you're pretty close to it.
So just surveying, doesn't seem like any people, but listening, do it.
Give me a perception check.
Movement.
Perceptiones.
Natural 20 for 24.
Nice.
You do hear things. Couple of things. First, you hear a distinct sound of water moving around, swirling and swishing. But it's not violent, it's not angry. And it's hard to place it first until you hear... There is someone bathing in a room, probably a little bit... so you're looking southward. There's a door immediately to your right, heading further to the west. There's someone bathing somewhere past that. There's someone in some sort of tub of water, scratching themselves with a brush. You also hear a couple of footsteps, but it seems like there's no one within like 40 feet of you right now.
Okay, so just to make sure, we're trying to swing around to the...
Southward. You hear people from the west, nothing to the south at the moment.
Great. I'll say I think we're good.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's try.
Heading south.
The party continues their way through the keep. Now, the keep itself, as you continue pressing forward, you're able to take a bit more of a survey of the grounds, looking out. The side leading to the court is actually the eastern direction. You can see past just these fine bits of plants and grass that are outside. There's small walkways that lead to various secondary structures that look to be in the courtyard. It looks like there's an actual outer wall to this keep, protecting the keep itself. You all, kind of looking around here, are able to see that there looks to be a massive gatehouse on the easternmost point, the main entrance here to Bamberg Keep. And actually, you have passed by here from the outside, Ismini, as we are in the arches, not 3 to 5 blocks away from Pluvia Niles' house, or her secondary house.
Where she's currently staying.
She currently is. Looking the other direction, you see that you're on the second level here. There is an open courtyard with a small garden in the second part of this, but you're able to kind of duck down and avoid any line of sight from maybe things further off in the other walkways around here. But you can see the two towers. The one you're trying to head towards is shorter than the crow's nest one, which appears to be a good 25 feet taller and likely can see everywhere on the outside of the structure.
Question. I assume there's like people
Yes.
moving around.
Looking through the gardens, you
Yeah.
can now see it looks like just like the first floor where it was mainly a square with buildings on the outside, and they had a mess hall on the middle downstairs. Upstairs, there's a garden in this central courtyard with 4 hallways around it.
Looking at kind of everything we can see, is there any section or movement of people who look, I don't know, perhaps more like the soldiers we encountered before, a little out of place, somewhere
Give
where
me
the
a
fences are a little
perception
heavier.
check here.
I'm not
As you're kind of
great at
peeking through these.
perception.
That's fine.
I don't know if I got a natural 20 for a 21.
Nice.
I'm so bad at perception.
Okay, so you guys are in the eastern hallway going south. Don't worry too much about all of these cardinal directions and such, but just keeping things consistent. You can see that you're heading south, and you'll have to turn, and then you'll make it to the tower. You see, walking along that southern hallway, away from you, a woman and 2 soldiers emerge from the tower, turn, and are walking away. You can tell they're heading towards the stairs that lead back down.
She look magical? Because we were told there's a witch.
Can you explain to me what you think magical looks like?
Well, witches typically have familiars. The past 2 witches we've seen, they've had a familiar. So
Like
is there
oaks.
some
You
animal
know,
companion?
I do this thing often where if you have like the same check really quickly in a row, I try to roll them over. I think we've all seen it many times. I've used it for pain and for pleasure. It's been good and bad. I think in this case, I might have some information for you. As stepping away from the tower is a human woman, long brown hair. Wait, just a moment. With that natural 20, there's a break in her makeup on her neck with pink skin. Not rosy, not flush, but her skin is powdered, covering up her natural complexion, which is this almost salmony pink. She's some sort of partial human. Her ears slightly pointed. As she's walking with these 2 soldiers, you don't immediately see a creature walking near her, and then fluttering from the garden, what looks to be a single sparrow flies over and lands on her shoulder. The bird looks around. Hard to tell what it's seen, what it hasn't.
She was leaving the tower we're going for.
She's leaving the tower you were going towards
and
with
she's
2
heading
soldiers.
to stairs.
She's heading downstairs,
Okay.
which would be roughly towards like the mess hall or one of the barracks, or maybe to leave.
I feel like we're going the right direction.
Let's try
Yeah.
to be quiet as possible.
Well, we're the ones who made the best noise last time.
Let's try to be as quiet as possible.
You all proceed further through the castle, making your way across, nearly making it to the corner where just one more turn and you'll make it to the tower. When you just hear
You shouldn't really be eating on the job.
there are a pair of guards on the other side of this door.
Oh, it's fine. It's just a potato. Oh, you could have cooked it.
It's good for your teeth. We are not dentists. Don't listen to what we have to say about food and teeth.
Now I want a baked potato.
Yeah, bake it though. Real talk.
Baked potato. All of it.
Okay. I have a plan.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Prepare a spell.
Okay.
Go ahead and open the door.
I want to clarify one thing because I wasn't super clear here. The people here sound like they're just outside the door, short range, 30 feet or less for all of this. They're likely standing in a slight inset in the wall. You'd be able to see them if you open the door. They're not standing at just the door itself. They're in the hallway, likely watching the tower you're going towards.
That's fine.
I want to make sure all of this was clear.
Yeah.
You didn't have great line of sight from where you were.
I have a spell that does not require target. It's a radius.
I have no idea what you're about to do.
Trust me.
Okay.
If you
Mass power word kill.
exactly.
He's actually,
Power word kill, comma, greater.
he's actually a 9th level caster, and he didn't tell us until now.
Your sword's like,
Secret.
yes, I hunger. No.
Wrong sword.
Yeah, wrong sword.
As far as we know.
2 for 2.
I will prepare a subtle cast of a spell.
You're able to wish this to your party, knowing like you've got this plan. Here's how this is going to work. If we're trying to do whole simultaneous things, because holding spells isn't really a thing outside of initiative. What I will say is this: because you're talking about a normal door, I would allow only at most one other person to help. But if you do, it's going to have if more than one person is going to assist with this, it will impart an issue on what Connor's trying to do. Reason being, small door, one person to open, other person to cast his spell out.
I'll open the door.
We'll sit out.
If you want.
Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
We're
Not very
trusting you,
subtle.
Thorn.
And Realm will also sit out.
I'm holding calm emotions.
Seriously, man, the captain's gonna be pissed.
Okay.
Captain's not gonna even know I'm doing this. He's all busy.
Opening the door.
Opening the door.
I'm grabbing the door.
How big is calm emotions?
20-foot radius.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, you fire it in such a way where you don't hit yourself.
Yeah.
You shoot this. You fire this out. There's no visual effect to what's happening. I don't believe. And as you're kind of reaching out, you
Not with
feel
subtle spell.
one mind, two minds, and you tug, pulling them ever so closer. These strange abilities. As you're casting this, I have to make a wisdom save.
Charisma.
Charisma save for both of them. And a word finally arrives in your mind. One, you must have just heard it somewhere. Psionic. It is a word you are now familiar with. What does a 15 get me?
That's a fail.
They both failed. Describe to me what's happening here.
They're just, even if they look at us, they're just like, and go back to what they're doing. They're indifferent.
They're chill.
Yeah.
This is a good potato.
Hey man, can I have some of the potato? Yeah. Yeah, you can, man.
Dawn.
They're a dawn now. Calm emotion turns everybody into a dawn.
Turn everyone into the chillest dawn.
Hey, you guys
Literally the
want...
description of the
want
spell
some
is it makes
potato?
them indifferent.
What was that?
That's one of the descriptions of the spells. It makes them indifferent towards you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my potato's mostly gone. Oh well.
There's a crunchy ass potato.
If you ever bit into a raw potato, it's terrible.
Why? What?
They're not. Yes, they're not cooked.
Thorn is just eating it like it's.
Yeah, you
Whatever.
guys do hear a faint "ow" as the second guy bites a potato and cracks a tooth.
It doesn't gonna,
baked potatoes?
it's gonna give you a freaky disease. You don't eat raw potatoes.
Yeah, you guys passing by the guards. Also,
What's-
bicycle for Connor.
What's
That was
disease?
fantastic. You guys begin making your way
Fine, I can
up the tower.
Potato bad for you?
I don't think so.
Rather than being a full spiral, you actually walk back and forth, and it arcs faster than you expect, having to turn in place. This style of staircase, it's really like you feel yourself have to actually stop, turn. It's hard to move quickly through these steps, but after what feels like
The
a
use design.
but after, good job, Amanda. After a little bit, you do make your way up to a large what looks to be there's an oaken door with a huge dark metal lock, the lead lock on this. It is currently now. The lock itself, I had it like it was a padlock. The lock is in the door itself. There is a well-made metallic handle on this as well. Door appears to be locked. Goodman's, I got dice.
I want to pick a lock.
So yes, eating one raw potato if you're
You
a
should
100-pound person
wash
would kill you.
and disinfect your potatoes. You should cook them.
Cook food. Generally speaking, cook most things that you eat.
Or just don't weigh 100 pounds.
Hack.
That's a life
That's a
hack.
life
Not medical advice.
Life hack.
I'm gonna honor.
As a party is kind of going, was that potato kind of good? Gwynwyn gets up with a lock. Roundlore is fully as you guys are standing there holding potatoes, Roundlore is trying to steal any piece of potato.
No, I gave him a wooden horse.
Roundlore slobbered a bit that time. It was terrible.
Remember slobbers?
Gwynwyn, make your thieves' tools check. This is a dex check.
27.
Spicy.
I'm very excited because I've got good news and I've got bad news.
All right.
Who is closest to Gwynwyn?
Wait, no. 30.
Great. Good news is,
We didn't check for traps.
We did not.
you are? Excellent. Make me a con save. Amanda, you have advantage on this. As you unlock the door, this spray of greenish gas, green-gray gas fires out at you.
9.
11.
Fair. That's with advantage. This is versus
Yeah.
poison.
Versus poison.
I have a
Plus
plus
a
7.
5 and a 6.
We didn't check for traps before unlocking a door.
Have we ever, once in any campaign, have we checked a door for traps?
Also, none of us are rogues.
Both of you failed.
Oh my
You'll take 22 points of poison damage.
Oh my god.
Halved because your resistance to poison.
Ouch.
Yes.
I'm not.
You
Can
are
I
not.
absorb elements as a
Is
reaction?
it a reaction? If you'd like to now, does absorb elements say when you're hit by an attack or when you take damage?
Pretty sure it's an attack roll, but let me double check.
Sure, check for me. I don't know if I would care too much.
Resistance versus 1 attack, yeah. So that's a nah.
Let me make a.
That's a nah for me.
I'm sorry, that's a nah from the die, unfortunately. Orange die said no. That's okay. But taking a fair bit of damage, breathing this in,
Is it,
cough.
is it acid?
It's poison, actually.
Poison, okay.
Taking a little bit of time. As you open there, you're able to see the small mechanism itself is clearly discharged. An empty glass vial still within with a really sophisticated looking, there's a long metallic tube that has been arched in such a way to be placed within the door itself to make its detection difficult.
Gotta say,
So-
looks like mom shit.
Did we, because we failed, are we poisoned now?
Nope, just poison damage.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you like to open the door?
We might as well. We already triggered one trap.
Okay.
Are you okay? Do you need a potion?
I bought 5 of them.
Is it what? A shot? Okay.
Yeah, take the shot of a potion of greater healing.
Of what?
Do you want a potion of greater healing?
Sure.
It's 44 plus 4?
Yeah. You just took 22 points of damage and we're trying to go kill a mob boss. Like,
44 plus 4?
yeah.
Dang. If this is allowed.
Yeah, you guys are taking this time. Oh, Gwen, when you open the door,
12.
a human man is sitting at a table, his back towards you. You can see a quill as he is writing on some parchment. Places a piece of paper next to him, begins working on the next one. Do come in.
Captain or knight?
Or mister.
Stand and turns towards you. This human man wearing this familiar colors of Eltz, red, black, but has these stripes of gold against his body. Looks at each of you. Doesn't appear to be armed, though he is standing facing towards you with his hands crossed behind his back. A slight jingle as he turns towards you as some of the metals on his breast move just a bit. I suppose Captain would be appropriate. Why are you here? What do you think you could possibly accomplish by coming into this place?
Can I mind link with this meanie real quick?
Sure.
Can you send something to check what's behind him?
What?
Can you send something to check what's behind him?
I could just send Squawk.
That's what he's asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll send Squawk over. Somebody else can talk.
Make Squawk's stealth check.
I'm gonna pull out the writ.
Natural 1.
This.
It rolled from a 19.
This was so very kindly delivered to our door this morning.
Squawk.
I would like a natural 20 for the night. You see holding in his gauntleted hand your bird, your little raven. Rather than having a normal raven's head, his little skull head cries out as he's squeezed a little too tightly. Not enough to poof him, just enough to hurt. Huh. And you managed to obtain your own writ. How?
By talking with the knight, of course.
And what was the knight's name?
Shouldn't you know that?
He didn't share his name with us.
You should know who you sent to try to kill us.
You realize that in these matters there are all sorts of people who get involved. It gets messy on occasion. Pop! Poofs.
Can I kill him now?
Bullet drones.
Now that I'm holding my hand out, looking a little bit closer, you notice the armor seems strange. What is your investigation skill, Ismini?
+5.
+5, which means your passive is 15?
15.
His armor is illusory, and there's something wrapped around his arm. The House Yadara assassin stands before you, the remains of the now ashed squawk in your hands. Disgusting little thing.
Yes, you are.
Ready for round 2?
You are heroes, adventurers, mercenaries. What do you prefer to call yourselves?
I think your murderer is probably the nicest title I could assign myself.
Well, excellent. Would you like to end things with a bang or a whimper?
Bang. Always go out with a bang.
Very well.
A nice slice.
Cracks his these spiked chains on the ground as he does, dissipating this bit of illusion, slowly unfurling the magics around him as he slaps the ground as the false captain reveals himself.
He damn well better have 10 gold pieces on him.
As we all roll for initiative, I want to describe this room very, very clearly here. Paint a mind picture.
That makes sense. Here, I'll write it down. So that I get it.
As he's standing here cracking this, he cracks the spike chains down. As you see, once more, these chains embedded deep within the. Oh shit!
Actually, I didn't.
Whoa, not too
I
bad.
didn't
It's just
do that
tilted.
much.
Connor, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
That hurts.
It hit my hat.
Oh, okay. That thing's got a metal
Helmet for
corner on it.
protection.
Yeah.
He cracks his whips down. The whips themselves, they're spike chains. I'm gonna use those interchangeably because they're mechanically the same item. They are metallic bands. Some of these chains are barbed, some are not. The ends of which are wrapped around his arm, and the largest bolt pierced through the center of it. You see up close these thick bumps on his skin, and on each of them a small black dot like a tattoo. That was a weird burp. Small black dots like tiny tattoos all down his arm. As it slowly pulls back, he reveals his elven face, slightly grayed and ashen, long, thin ears, balded head, more of these blackened dots atop him. You can see that, like inflamed lymph nodes around his neck, more of these sacs of acid.
Has the acid that we popped earlier refilled?
The acid that you popped earlier, remind me?
From earlier this morning.
Yes. So looking at him a little bit closely, I would ask for an investigation check, but unfortunately, we're going to be ending our session here tonight. We're making those sort of rolls here when we come back next week.
So do we keep our initiatives?
So yes, I would like to. We're gonna get those initiatives. Keep those marked down. You know what? Hey Connor, come on in. I'm very excited. Let me get those initiatives real quick. Laurentius.
8.
6.
Ralnor got a 21 and his meanie got an 11.
Ilya. 22.
And I close that door and barricade it.
I would like to give you a little bit more information about this because I know you guys. I know about the group chats. Every DM knows about the group chats.
What group chat?
But the party is able to see that the room itself is it's basically like a half circle, and you see that there is a window on one side, a wide window on one side, as well as what looks to be a writing desk that he was just working at, and a collection of various bookshelves containing all sorts of materials within the room. I have no idea what that makes you excited, and I'm happy about it, But we are going to end our session here. When we come back, you'll get to face round 2 against one of the most powerful killers you've ever faced in our campaigns. Thank you so much for joining us here on Stories to D4. Whether you joined us live on Twitch or watching us later on our YouTube, or hey, maybe some crazy social media platform in the future, we really appreciate your time, you coming in and sharing that with us and joining in this story. We hope you have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next week. Good night, everyone. Good job, players.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.